On this week's episode of Gambling Feud, it is our mock draft show. We bring on three fellow Coda Cappers, Josh Campbell, DG Bets, and Beast Picks. We break down all 31 picks of the NFL draft, how we think it's going to go, our take on it. We give out prop bets, and we talk everything NFL draft. Before we get started, we want to tell you guys that we are partnered with Better Edge. For those of you that don't know, Better Edge is a company that makes market-to-market, person-to-person exchanges for sports betting. So it works in all 50 states. How does it work, you may be asking? I'll give you an example. Say you have a game, the Rangers and the Phillies, we'll say, are playing in a game. I like Rangers money line for $10. Another person on the platform likes Phillies money line for $10. We got an exchange. Winner of that wins the money. It is perfectly legal. They have contests. We host a bunch of contests every single week. So be sure to check us out there. They have a social platform, so you can share your orders with people, have people roast you, what have you, whatever you want. But it is an amazing platform. We love Better Edge. A lot of our cappers use Better Edge. Go to their website, www.betteredge.com. You can use promo code Kyle. You can use promo code DJ, whatever you want. You get $20 added to your account the second that you deposit it if you use that promo code. Shout out Better Edge. We love them. If you guys are ready, let's get to the NFL draft mock draft. Locked and loaded. Let's have a show.
Wait. Almost.
Are you good?
All right, go.
Welcome, everyone, to the Gambling Feud podcast. I'm keeping that in, by the way. Welcome, everyone, to the Gambling Feud podcast presented by the Coda Sports Gambling Network. We are on episode 86. We got together an elite crew to do this mock draft show. DJ and I already, people know, no ball. So that's just already known. But we got our most recurring guest on Gambling Feud. We got on our most accurate drafter from last year's show. And we got on a college football expert. We got a massive crew here today. We are so excited. Let's get right to it. My name is Kyle Comish. You can find me on Twitter at CodaCapperKyle. And for 86 episodes, joining me is my cousin and co-host. You can find him on Twitter at DJ Low4422, DJ Luch. DJ, how we doing today?
Kyle, I am doing great because the draft is coming up. And the draft reminds you that there's a sport out there called NFL football. And it's just the best. I'm a pro NFL over college football guy. College football, not ragging on it, but NFL is elite. So yeah, the NFL draft is kind of like our get us through the offseason, you know. We haven't had football in a while. You know, we're watching the XFL, sure, whatever. We haven't had football in a while. And the NFL draft, it pulls us right back in. And now we're thinking of hypotheticals, what our team can and can't do. It's the big step. Teams that are out of it are now in it. Teams that are in it are now out of it. I mean, it means everything. Very exciting. You can win or lose the season starting Thursday.
Absolutely. And we got this is our third annual mock draft, so I'm really excited for it. Let's introduce the fellas here really quick. For his third year on the show and our most recurring guest, we actually figured this out. Our most recurring guest on Gambling Feud, we got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Mr. Josh Campbell. Soup, how we doing, sir?
I am doing good. Excited to be here. NFL draft, one of my favorite sporting, non-sporting events of the year. Without a doubt, I'm excited. It's always fun. I always like getting at least one pick right. So hopefully we can accomplish that this year. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited.
We did allow trades this year. I know Soup didn't like that we didn't allow trades. We did allow trades this year, and a trade may or may not happen tonight. We'll have to see. But I know Soup said we're not accurate because we don't allow trades. We did allow trades this year, so we will just have to see. But also joining, we got, I believe, I can't remember, maybe 5 or 6 right last year. And this man had 3 of them right. So we wanted to bring him back on. It is the legend, Mr. DG Bets. DG, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Oh, and you forgot to mention the 717th most recurring guest on the Gambling Feud podcast. But number 15 in your heart? Let's go. All right. So I am super excited about the draft. Very much excited to see what my Bears do. Bear down, let's go. Super excited see what they do in real life, and I'm excited to see what pick I give them in like fake world. But come on, let's go, man. Let's go. Hey, this is the draft. You should have friends over. If you don't have friends, then you should like make friends and like touch the grass and go and enjoy life. Because draft is most amazing. It is most amazing, and we could not be more thrilled that another draft is upon us. I know I am, and I'm sure I can speak for the rest of you as well.
Yeah, absolutely well said. And DG, you're in a special place in me and DJ's heart because you won the very first ever Gambling Feud Elite 8 contest. So you are very important to this show, whether you choose to believe that or not.
You smashed this guy named Soup. This guy named Soup tried to face you, and you absolutely demolished him.
Just one right hook.
Hey man, I'm not a big talker, man. I just keep my head down, man.
And that's not true. That's not true.
Keep myself out of the way, Jose. So hey man, I'm just enjoying this stuff, man, with all you, and I cannot wait to see what the draft has for us, and then therefore the upcoming football season.
Absolutely.
I will say on a side note, I feel like this is one of the more unpredictable drafts. A draft where I don't know, like there's anything could happen. There's a lot of players that could go a lot of different places.
Yep, and
I mean, even the freaking like Will Levis rumors that came out today, like it's just throwing everything off. It's crazy.
Really quick before we dive into it, just to introduce him so he can give input. We got the host of the Not Another College Football podcast and a co-host of the College Football Central show. We got Mr. Beast Picks. Beast, how we doing, sir?
We're doing good. Came, dressed for success here. I got got my blue on for the Lions. I guess I'm drafting for the Colts too, so it could be a little Colts blue.
There you go.
But yeah, man, we're gonna make some good picks here. Got some great NFL draft props. We're gonna drop for the boys. So I don't know, crack a couple beers, guys. Buckle in because this is gonna be a good show, baby.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Anybody have anything to say really quick about just the predictability of the draft? I know I cut some people off there to introduce Beast, but I wanted to make sure I introduced him in case he had something to say. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff in the water happening right now. We'll kind of see what happens. But anybody just got any overall thoughts? I think DJ and Soup touched on it pretty decently, but I don't know if DG or Beast have any thoughts on it.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be super unpredictable. I to be honest, I have to do 2 picks for the team that I've been watching the most mock drafts for the Lions, for example, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. Like, zero clue. So
now, is it a talent issue? Like, is this draft less talented, or is the talent kind of spread a bunch of positions, and so it's just not like clear cut? I guess if that makes sense.
I would say it's spread across talent-wise for sure, but I wouldn't say there's like an absolute surefire 1-1, but I would, and I'd say that it's just fairly equal among pretty much all positions.
Question. Do you all think that the NIL and the transfer portal in college, do you think that it's going to further dilute the drafts upcoming?
I would for sure agree with that. If you're making a decent amount in college, but you're not going to get drafted until the 6th or 7th round, but I don't know if it'll be significant enough. Like because there's not that many players that are making money in college but not going to get drafted. I feel like that's tough.
Yep. Okay. Don't know if anyone else has anything to touch on that, but
I think it's a curious question, like, because everyone's asked the question, how is NIL going to affect college football and how college football is played? But I feel like, this is the first draft where the previous season players have been eligible for NIL. So I think, honestly, the answer, it has yet to play out. Like, naturally, players are going to just stay longer in college than they used to because you
Okay.
have an opportunity to make money. So down the line, especially down the line, that'll affect the draft that way. But I don't know. I think that that's a really good and interesting question that we can only wait to see how it will be answered.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, gentlemen, I'm really excited for this. Let's get started with NFL draft prop bets before we actually get into the draft. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through like what prop bets we like, anything we want to share with the fellas and with the people at home, and feel free to tail us if you like. I'll go first. So I have 4. I have one that I think is pretty much a lock, and the juice will show for it. I have 2 values and I have a long shot. So the one that's a lock that has a ton of juice, got this on Barstool at -167. I like Jackson Smith-Njigba under 14.5 pick taken. I think he's going to get taken in the top 14 for sure. I think there's a need for wide receivers within the top 14, so I like that a lot. Kind of a value play. I like Nolan Smith from Georgia over 11.5 pick taken. I think there's a couple other defensive players that will get taken ahead of him, and I think he's going to get taken 12, 13, 14, something like that. I like that for value. I like under 4.5 QBs taken in round 1 at +120 on Barstool. I think there's 4 pretty obvious ones that you guys are going to take that will get taken. After that, I don't know if any other QB will get taken round 1. I like that a lot. And then my long shot, I nailed a exact pick last year with Kenny Pickett. I'm going to try to do it again. I like Hendon Hooker, exact team to draft Seahawks at +850 on FanDuel. So that is where I'm going to go there, and those are going to be my 4 draft props. So DJ, will go to you now. What do you like for prop bets?
Yeah, so I got 2 what I would consider not locks, I guess, but I like Michael Mayer under 23.5 at -120. And it really starts at like the 16th pick. There's, I believe it's the Packers. And from there on, every team has interest in tight ends. The Chargers, I believe at draft 21, they have a decent interest in tight ends. So I think under 23.5, very doable. -120 is the juice. So yeah, I'm going Michael Mayer under 23.5 for draft position. And then my other one that I like, a little bit of value here, but I like ACC players under 3.5.
Okay.
I think for sure and it's at +155. I think for sure there will be 2 ACC players drafted. I think for sure. But the third player to get drafted is such a massive question mark that I'm not sure. Like Zay Flowers obviously is going to get drafted in the first round. I don't think that's anything crazy. And then I can't think of the other dude. But then there's like 4 guys who are fringe first rounders, and I just don't think any of them are getting drafted. So I like that. And then for my long shot, the juice is on for Jackson Smith-Njigba to get drafted after 12.5. Like it's over 12.5 and it's -145. And typically when guys get drafted, when it's kind of a weird one where there's not a surefire lock, something weird happens. And the news reports on Quentin Johnson at +1,000 for the first receiver drafted. That's where I think the value's at.
Ooh.
It's wild, but he is notably one of the more talented and the best. And when the receiver class is kind of goofy, I think some randomness can happen. And since there's not that surefire lock, I mean, we've seen it in the past. I mean, who did the Eagles draft instead of Justin Jefferson that one year, Soup? You remember?
Wait. It's coming to me. Did they pass on Justin Jefferson to take Mr. Can't Find a Fucking Job, Jalen Rieger?
From TCU.
Yeah. So it's one of those where I don't think there's a clear-cut lock. So I like the idea of +1,000 that Quentin Johnson is the first receiver drafted. I think there is flexibility. There could be a lot of different dudes. I've seen reports that it is JSN. I've seen reports that it's Zay Flowers. I've seen reports that it's Quentin. Jordan Addison. There's just any receiver could get drafted first. So those are the 3 props I like for this draft.
All right, very good. Soup, will go to you. What do you got for your prop bets?
What's up, guys? This is Soup checking in. All right. DJ, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. The first wide receiver selected is going to be Jordan Addison, not Quentin Johnson. I'm sorry.
What's
sorry.
the odds on that?
+750.
Okay, I got better value.
You do. I won't take that away from you. You definitely have a larger number.
Thank you.
But I have the winning pick. Without, yeah, I think he's going to go number one. I'm not saying he's more talented. I'm not saying he's more upside than JSN, but I think Addison's going one. Also correlating to another one of your bets, DJ, I like Michael Mayer to be the first tight end selected. That is a little juicy, but in no world can I see him, or can I see another tight end going in front of him. I literally, unless he gets hit by a car between now and when the first round starts, there's no way that another tight end is being selected before him. Unless he could get hit by a plane. He needs to get hit by a car for it to not happen. Just don't even. It's minus 160, juicy, but it's free fucking money. I don't know why. I don't know why we all don't put our entire life savings on Michael Mayer minus 160. We're dumb for not doing that, honestly.
Does
Now that being said, that being said, you probably shouldn't put all of your money on him going number one, because this would be the one time where some dumbass team just comes in and screws you in the ass. Okay, so yeah, I'm removing the net worth bet tag from it. Just put multiple units on it. Just put multiple units on it. And then you guys know me. You know who I am. You know what I stand for. Anthony Richardson to go in the top 4, you can snag at plus 300. So if a guy like me is going to be all over that, because Anthony Richardson is the future. He's the best QB prospect maybe ever. Future NFL Hall of Famer, Anthony Richardson. Should have been Heisman winner, Anthony Richardson. So I love that bet. I think it's a fun bet. But most importantly, I'm staying true to my roots with it.
Anthony Richardson was
all I've
awful
got
last year.
Yeah.
It was bad.
He had that really cool scramble play.
He did.
Now, my question is, if you bet someone to get taken first, like tight end, and they do get in a car crash, is that a void of a bet, or are you just done? You're just.
I think you just lose.
Odds just adjust.
You just lose.
Think you just lose. Yeah.
Yeah. The casino just adjusts the odds, and anyone who had the obvious minus 200 bet just gets fucked. Is essentially what it seems would happen.
Yeah, it's like you bet on a horse race, and the bell goes off, and your horse has a heart attack in the stall. Like, you just fucking lose. The bell went off. You know.
You try going to the front, like, my horse didn't even get out of the gate.
Yeah, like, give me my money back. They'd laugh you out of the place.
Couldn't show your place there for weeks.
All right, Beast will go to you now. What do you got for your prop bets?
Well, the cool thing about having you guys go in front of me is you guys kind of touched on some of the stuff I'm going to kind of talk about, but I'm going to start. I love over 3.5 receivers in the first round. It's minus 105 on FanDuel. We talked a lot about Jackson Smith and Jigba. We think he'll be a first round guy. Quentin Johnson, like you were mentioning, I think that's a really good chance for him to be a first round. Jordan Addison out of USC, that's 3 right there. And then Zay Flowers has had a ton of mock drafts that I've seen him in as a first round pick. That's 4 guys right there. And that's just ignoring, like, you never know. Sometimes there's somebody that just is higher on somebody else's board and they sneak into the first round. But those 4 is probably what it's going to be. And I think it's a very solid chance that all 4 of those guys go. It might even be inside like the top 26 or something like that. You know what I mean? So I like that one. That's minus 105. Going off Josh's point, love this one. Anthony Richardson inside top 5. I'm going top 5, not going top 4, but top 5. It's minus 115. I think he's the 3rd or 4th pick. Like, I don't understand. I know there's a lot of all this, talk about Will Levis and stuff. No. Fuck Will Levis. We're not worrying about Will Levis. I think Anthony Richardson is the top 5 pick. I don't see how he makes it out, just because all these teams are just fawning over him from what I've heard. Oh, his athleticism, this and that. He's a combine warrior, dude. Like, so I think he'll go top 5. I think that's a good one. It's minus 115. It's pretty even odds. You never know. If he doesn't make it inside top 4, maybe you kind of hedge with, top 5. If you're that in on Soups Bet, go in on top 5 too. And then the last one I have, this is just complete value. I'm going to go total tight ends drafted in the first round under 2, which is a weird line. It's on DraftKings at plus 225. My thing is, at worst, I don't see how this doesn't push at 2. I don't personally see 3 guys. I know some people are talking about Washington as the third tight end. So you got Kincaid, you got Mayer, and then you got Washington. Some people think there'll be 3 tight ends in the first round. I just think that's ridiculous thinking. And there's so much value in the sense that even if Kincaid and Mayer get drafted, both, you'd push. So why not take a stab on a plus 225 line? It's ridiculous. Anywhere else outside of DraftKings, I believe, has it at 2.5. So if you see it, go on to DraftKings right now, plus 225. It's worth the chance. I mean, even if you push, you get your money back. Take the chance, dude.
How wild would Kincaid being drafted 32nd be? Because he'd be the second round.
Yeah.
It?
Yeah.
True. So, I mean, to be honest, I could see all of that happening. I don't see more than 2 guys being drafted first round. So it's worth the chance, in my opinion.
I love
that prop.
The wide receiver prop, beautiful. I love it. Yeah, I well done, sir. Well done.
Yep, he understood what he needed to do. That's for sure. DG, wrap it up for us. What do you got for your prop bets?
All right. All right. I like Jalen Carter over 6.5. So if he goes pick 7 or later, that's plus 150 on the DraftKings. I think that this news that's been coming out, I think it has a sufficiently that and the subpar workout video has sufficiently depressed his stock to the point. I do think that he'll still go in the first round, but yeah, I don't think that he'll go within the first 6 picks. So got that at plus 150. Minus 125 is Mr. Irrelevant to be an offensive player or a punter.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
Minus 125.
All right.
I think that speaks for itself.
That's a great bet. That's a great bet.
Thank you. The first defensive player to be selected, Will Anderson, plus 120.
Okay.
I know that I think Tyree Wilson is getting a lot of the buzz now to be the first one picked, but I see no reason why if Will Anderson was the most dominant force on defense in college football, and then pretty much for the last couple of months they've been saying that he'll probably be the top pick or you know what I'm saying, or second or third or whatever. If he's that skilled, then I see no reason why someone else has performed sufficiently enough to make a team to think differently. So I like that, and then I also like Stetson Bennett to get drafted in the 6th round. That's plus 450 on draft.
Okay, nice.
You looked at that too. Talking about that before the show.
Nice.
We did.
I have the walls bugged. But all right, so listen, plus 450, bro. That is amazing for him. Because if they're thinking that he'll more than likely go, I think it's minus 105 for him to go undrafted. Man, I mean, plus 450, that is an amazing, bet, right there.
Yeah. Value wise, I totally agree. And we were saying that before the show. We're why not take a chance on one of those rounds? Just in the sense that it's kind of the same thing that is exactly why Brock Purdy went, as the Mr. Irrelevant last year. Is right. This guy was really good in college, he probably doesn't project technically to like an NFL quarterback, but his numbers were good in college. Like, why not take a chance on him? And it kind of worked out for the 49ers because he actually could play relatively okay. But I could see somebody doing the same thing with Bennett. You know what I mean? Like, think about how many Alabama quarterbacks between like McCarron and stuff that they just, you take a chance on and, like as a backup in a certain sense. So I don't know. I think it's worth it. It's good value.
Do you guys think Brock Purdy increased like late round quarterback draft, like the numbers? Like if teams be like, hey, let's take a flyer on this dude because he might end up being good. Because Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. It's the same thing as like when Luka Doncic pops off and then people start drafting Europeans and then the next 4 Europeans bust, but then the 5th one pops off. They're like, oh shit, we got to get European. Like, I feel like it does that, but I could be wrong here.
It's also such an advantage in those late rounds where it's kind of dart throws to take a quarterback because a la Brock Purdy, if you take a quarterback and it hits, like no matter what, if you make a draft pick, that contract's going to be 4 years long. And quarterbacks take up so much of the cap. And I think undrafted free agents contracts can only be 2 or 3 years. So if you hit on a late round QB, like cap wise and just money wise, it's such a huge advantage, at least for
the fact that he's going to be their starter next season.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Irrelevant. They're paying bro like $100,000 a year, like bro, seriously. So and for the Niners, like this is gonna be the ultimate chance for them to like stockpile talent.
Yeah, and like look what they did. It seemed like they were in cap hell, and then it got to the offseason and they were just signing dudes like that D-Tac from the Eagles that had like 11 sacks. They signed him to a huge deal. Like, where the fuck is this cap coming from? I know that I know they got rid of Garoppolo, but still, like having that QB on a Mr. Irrelevant deal is literally insane.
Brock Purdy's making less than Trey Lance, and Trey Lance is his backup.
Way less.
Like significant, yeah, dude, significantly less.
Yeah.
That's so wild though.
Dude, like you literally couldn't find a backup in the league that could make less money than Brock Purdy. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane.
He's getting paid $58,000 a year. Like, bro, like
that's nuts.
I hope he's making more. He must get.
And per diem.
I don't know what the league like minimum is, but it's got to be a couple 100,000. You'd think maybe like 500.
No,
I have no idea.
You're talking about Brock Purdy makes.
Yeah, I don't know what the league minimum is, but
no, I was joking around.
no, I mean it's above 58, but I don't know if it's 500. It's probably like
I bet it's closer to 250.
Yeah, 250 probably.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
I looked it up. It was a 4-year deal for like 3.7 mil. So it was essentially like 700,000 his first year.
Okay.
870,000 his second year. By his 4th year, 2025, he'll be making 1.1 mil.
Oh wow, the big bucks.
The big bucks.
He probably absolutely hates his life, dude.
And he lives in California, so most of that's going back to the government. Because the taxes are just insane.
Last year, he's looking at Garoppolo and he's just like, I'm fucking better than this guy. He's making 28 mil.
Imagine like him and Trey Lance just like getting into it at practice, and Trey Lance is just like, "Hey, but fuck you, like you're broke, bitch."
Yeah. I signed a $30 million deal, buddy.
Wait. All right. Before we go, my lock shot is Sam Laporta to be the first tight end selected, plus 6,000 on draft.
Wow.
It's bold. I like it though.
This is a terrible pick. Terrible pick.
Porta.
Okay.
Wait, what's the value on that?
Plus 6,000.
6,000?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ton of value. You can't say it's no value.
Not enough.
From a value perspective, I respect it.
Dude, it's tight end you.
For my under 2 tight ends drafted thing, that would be a nightmare.
Oh,
Like,
disaster.
that would be if I seen Sam Laporta's name show up on my screen, I'm basically just deleting the app on my phone immediately and pretending like I never made that bet. Like,
There's like 4 tight ends drafted in the first round. Just
yeah,
like,
at that point. Oh God.
Josh is sitting there with half of his garage mortgaged on the Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm worth approximately half of what I was before they made this fucking pick.
oh. I'm still geeking out about Trey Lance telling fucking Brock Purdy he makes more than him. Like, just getting a little squad with, bitch, I make more than you.
Dude, like, I don't know how you even would have those two, like, if they got into it at practice.
Oh man. Gentlemen, that was really good. I'm gonna tail a couple of those prop bets. Those are really good. So basically how we're gonna do it is 4 of us have 6 picks, DG has 7, and we're just gonna make picks like a GM. We're gonna make it just like the real deal. We'll talk about each pick and kind of discuss and go from there. But so all of us got our favorite teams except for DJ. DJ and Soup are both Vikings fans. So DJ said, I'll let Soup have the pick. So DJ did get number 1 because of that. So just out of the respect for him. But
by law, he's in Minnesota and I am not. So legally, as an Iowan, I cannot pick for Minnesota over a dude who lives in Minnesota. That's just asinine. It'd be like someone picking for the Lions. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
What are we doing here? So yeah, it's literally just we're just following the law. We're trying not to get locked up.
Yep. All right, I got the sound cue, DJ. Is the number 1 pick in?
Yeah, if you guys wanted me to wait, I could. I will give you a quick fact though. Trey Lance is making like $9 million this season.
Holy shit.
Compared to the 900,000 that Brock Purdy's making. But
I
anyway, yes, let's start the draft.
I told you. He gets 900,000. He gets like a Lincoln like town car and like per diem every day.
All right, so let's get this draft underway with the first overall pick is the Carolina Panthers. DJ, it sounds like the pick is in. Here we go. Let's see if this works.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, we didn't hear
think
nothing
it's
there.
working.
Oh, you
Kyle,
didn't
I'm
hear
not gonna lie.
anything? Oh,
Yeah, try putting
No.
it right on top of the mic and then jam it out.
I think Zoom will automatically cancel it out. Zoom's really good at that.
Yeah, we're not hearing anything.
All right, that's
you
okay.
want-
All right, we'll give it a shot.
All right, well, with the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, University of Alabama. So obviously there was a lot of squabble on this. It was clear cut. It was a debate between Young and Stroud. And then we found out that Stroud has the IQ of a squirrel. And so they quickly rumors shifted to Bryce Young being kind of the main guy with some late rumors on Will Levis, but us at Carolina, man, it's always been Bryce Young. You know, he's basically Alabama's right next door. He went there. It's going to be a good transition. It'd be nice to see him in the offense. I couldn't imagine what it'd be like if we had a guy like, I don't know, Christian McCaffrey, but we don't. You know, we didn't draft a guy like that. So we just got Bryce Young, and we're going to work around it, and we're going to do what we can. I think he's a generational talent.
Ooh.
That's what we think as Carolina.
Okay. No. I was gonna say that was interesting, but yeah, I'm with you, DJ. No, there's been some hype around Levis. I know Levis just recently went from 40-1 to 4-1 pick for number 1 overall. But I think Young is the 1-1. I think the Panthers would be foolish to go with anybody besides Young. Don't know if anybody else has any thoughts at all.
He's a little guy, but he's really good. If you just watched Alabama last year, that team was ass, and multiple games Bryce just drug them to the finish line. and was the only reason they were as competitive as they were. At times, he was the only reason that they were as competitive as they were. Like on just so many occasions throughout, or I mean, especially last year, it was just 100% him. It was literally only him. He was him last year. And like I said, he's a little guy, and
just a little fella.
Most of the time that doesn't work. Like more often than not, that doesn't work. But I don't know. I would not be shocked at all if this was the one time, or if this is one of the times that it fucking works.
Yeah. At the same time, I do always fear quarterbacks that are coming from like powerhouse schools, like your Georgias, your Alabamas, your Ohio States, because the players around them are so much better. Like, dude, some Ohio State quarterbacks or even Alabama quarterbacks have had better receiving cores in college than they have when they get to the NFL. Like, it's asinine. And so that always fears me a little bit. But
I don't know. Like Alabama's running game, just their running game last year was dog shit compared to like the last fucking 15 years. Like they perpetually have a Heisman candidate at running back, and last year they had mids across the fucking board. Like I don't know. I am extremely high on Bryce Young, and I think he is more than deserving to go number 1 overall. He's also smart as fuck, which CJ Stroud is not apparently.
I think the 1-1 is pretty solidified. I think going forward, there's no guarantees at all going forward. So,
I would agree.
All right. Well, if nobody has anything else to say, we move on to the number 2 pick, the Houston Texans. That is my team. All right. With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky. I hate this pick. I think Will Levis is going to be a bust. I've talked with Soup multiple times about how I think he's going to be a bust, but this is a principal thing, and I'll tell you why this is a principal thing for me. Last year, I drafted number 1. I took Aiden Hutchinson, and up until draft week, he was supposed to be the number 1 pick, but then right before the draft, Trayvon Walker came in as the number 1 pick. I stuck with Hutchinson for the draft. Jags drafted Walker. Soup hasn't let me hear the end of it.
Okay, you forgot to include the part of the story where I incessantly told you that Walker was going number 1. You're like, oh, I don't know. When with Hutchinson, and I'm like,
anyways,
bro.
So I'm not going to do that here. Levis is the odds-on favorite to go to at almost any book. I checked his draft profile. Teams seem to like him because of his size. He's a pro-style QB. He has toughness in place through injuries. Teams seem to like him. So that's where I think he's going to go to the Houston Texans.
You mentioned his size. He is fucking yoked. Like, he is ripped, dude.
The mayo and the coffee.
I won't lie, brothers. I don't mind looking at him when he doesn't have a lot of clothes on. He is fucking yoked. It's crazy.
I don't know if that's part of the draft process, but
it totally is. It totally is. This is draft commentary. I didn't make the pick. I'm commenting on the pick.
On a side note, who got the better deal last year out of the Walker Hutchinson? Like, who walked away better from that?
Walker had, I think, 2.5 sacks all year.
Oh, the Lions for sure.
Yeah, Beast. I was setting up there, bud.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, when it happened, like on TV, like my boys and I were texting for like the day or two before, and we're like, the Jaguars aren't going to be that fucking stupid, are they? And they were. Like, I cannot believe that they took Trayvon Walker on it'd be like taking Anthony Richardson over Bryce Young at number 1. That would be the exact type of move. Athleticism, but not actually putting up the stats in college, whereas like Bryce Young's put up the stats. Like, it would really be that. It's like, well, we're going to take a chance because this guy did really good at the combine. And I'm not saying Trayvon Walker could end up being better career-wise, but last year, I mean, I can't imagine they were pretty like excited looking at the end of the year, because Hutchinson had a really good year. I mean, he was pretty dominant down the stretch.
Yeah,
he definitely got better throughout the year. Whereas I feel like Trayvon Walker got worse throughout the year.
how does it work that half of Michigan is Spartan fans? Roughly, I'm just roughly. How does that work? Do you guys just accept him then as a Lion?
You have to. Yeah, you have to. I mean,
you forget the. Yep. Okay, it makes sense.
yeah, I mean, truthfully, it's one of those situations where it's like I could just hate his guts, or I could just be like, yeah, he dominated my team for like years, so I'm glad that he's on the Lions and not facing me anymore. So
It's like some things are bigger than sports, but in this instance, it's some things are bigger than college football.
Yep, it's
And
really
basically
whether
the
you're
only
college
thing
football or
that's bigger than
NFL
college
guy.
football is the NFL. So
It's
True.
which way does the parentheses go for you? You know, are you college football or NFL? If you're an NFL guy, you just got to accept him.
fair.
I forgot to mention this isn't really a hilarious joke, but just the awfulness of the draft. They ask each player that gets drafted or is going to potentially get drafted, you know, like, oh, tell us like what inspired you to play football, and then tell us the saddest thing about your life. Who died recently in your life? Please tell us about him or her.
They do that.
And then be like, yeah, my grandma just passed away, pushed me through the draft. Like we just get 2 hours of the saddest stories after dudes have life-changing moments of getting drafted, getting handed millions of dollars. And what do they hear on the TV? Like, yeah, this dude's grandma just passed away. Huge. She raised him from day one. I'm done.
Dude,
I'm done with my rant.
It got so bad during the COVID year when everyone was doing it from home. And I don't know what fucking TV exec was like, all right, boys, we hit it out of the park with that shit. Remember what everyone complained about? Yeah, no, we're running that back. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
Yep.
Travion Jenkins, he's now going number 6 to the Eagles. Bob, he's endured so much in his life. He lost his uncle, his grandma, and his family cat in a house fight. But yet still, he went out. He got 35 sacks on the season.
That's accurate.
In like the second rounds, when they, like drafted a white guy who had a pretty stellar life, they'd find some shit. They'd be like, yeah, no, his neighbor died when he was 12, and that really inspired him to play football. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? How did he find that out? Why did you tell me that? Like, that doesn't, it's just preposterous.
My question is, how did they find the information? Like, did they literally ask the people, like, hey, like, who fucking died in your life? Like, that's the only option, bro. Like, they literally asked every candidate, who the fuck died? It's ridiculous.
I mean, they're digging. It's definitely like the producers of it, or like, we need something. It literally reminds me of like, if you were to watch, like, I don't know how it used to be, but now if you watch like American Idol or like The Voice or any of those shows, any of those like singing shows, they try to do the same thing where they spin it. Like somebody will come in on American Idol and it's like, oh yeah, but like they had this grandma when they were like 6 that passed from cancer and like, whatever. And it's like, without it sounding like bad, probably everybody's had a grandma pass at some point. Like, so it's kind of, and they're like, yeah, this and that. And then you're kind of just like, all right, like, you're definitely just trying to make a storyline out of anything and everything. But
I'll give you a fun fact about old DG Betts. So I tried out for Idol.
Oh, no way!
I did.
Really?
Yes. And yes, I can confirm that on the form that you've filled out, they ask you to go out of your way to tell them something interesting about yourself or whatever. So they are very much focused on the storyline as well as the the talent too. But
for sure.
I feel like they don't give a fuck about the talent. They want as many people with dope stories, and they need some bad singers in there. So people are like, oh my god, that person sucks. Like they do. I didn't know you had a voice. I didn't know you had pipes on you, DG.
Look at that.
Little bit.
He's just brushing it off.
What song did you sing? I'm a little curious.
I sang "Don't Change" by Music Soul Child.
Okay, hell yeah,
nice.
Okay. We won't make you sing on the air, but we'll make you sing later.
When off air, we don't want to get taken down for copyright.
There you go.
Got you.
All right, so let's move on. Now we got pick number 3, the Arizona Cardinals. Hold on. It's not the Arizona Cardinals anymore. GMs Kyle Comas and Josh Campbell agreed to a trade with the Tennessee Titans and the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals have traded pick 3 to the Tennessee Titans for pick 11 and pick 41 this year, and a second round pick next year is the trade that did go through. That was accepted by Josh Campbell. So with the third pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select C.J. Stroud, quarterback from Ohio State. Titans have fleeced pretty much everybody. You know, they cut Bud Dupree, they cut Robert Woods, they cut Ben Jones, they cut Soup's favorite Fat Randy. He's cut from the team now. The GM wants a fresh start. He wants a fresh system. You know, they re-signed Simmons. They said publicly they have no interest in trading Henry. And Tannehill's on the last year of his contract. He's going to be 35 this year. I've talked with Soup. Malik Willis stinks and simply is not going to be the starting QB. They need a fresh start. I think CJ Stroud offers that for him. I know there's some questions on the cognition test where he was literally looked at stupid, but there are some rumors out there that the cognition test, some of the results were untrue. I have seen reports about that, so they don't know that for sure. There's been some hesitation with his decision-making abilities, especially when his number one receiver isn't open, but several scouts have said he's the most naturally accurate QB in the draft this year. I think he's going to get better as he moves on. I think the Titans need to rebuild. I think they start here, so they are going to take CJ Stroud at number 3 overall.
I mean, the pick makes sense. I don't know if I agree with it. Not that you make the wrong pick. I just really hate this quarterback class personally, but I don't know shit. Let's just get that out in the air. What I will say, though, is one of these Ohio State quarterbacks has to be good, right? One of them. Now, I'm not counting Joe Burrow. I'm not going to count him. No way. So it's either going to be Justin Fields or Stroud. So you got a chance here. That's all I'll say.
Gotta respect it. Yeah, CJ Stroud's one of those guys that I hated like playing against him, like being a Michigan State guy in the Big Ten. But you have to respect his talent. And even if he was at a school where like he had multiple first round pick receivers, you know what I mean? In that sense, or at least like talent wise, like we'll see if Njigba goes first round. I would be shocked if he didn't. But I mean, he had some really good weapons, but still, it's pretty hard to do what he did, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Soup, you kind of shook your head when I made the pick. Do you disagree with it, or maybe?
No, I didn't mean to.
I think okay.
People forget if he had a better fucking kicker, he would have won the fucking national title last year. I'll never forget that moment. I'm at a stupid fucking New Year's Eve party, and no one's using the TV. And I turn it on. I'm like, all right, here we fucking go. Like, last drive of the game for the win. Need a field goal to win. I'm a Big Ten guy. I'm excited, you know? And I turn on the game. I see one play. And then someone who has more authority than I do at this house is like, oh, we should turn on the ball drop.
Oh, no.
I'm holding the remote. I'm like, no. Like,
no, we shouldn't.
we can't. And like I said, they had more authority than me at this house. And they simply took the remote, and it was literally no longer in my hands. And by the time I pulled it up on my fucking phone, the kick was off, and all I saw was way wide left. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It was the worst. I was so upset. Oh, it literally ruined New Year's Eve. It ruined New Year's Eve. But anyways, great pick.
Okay. No, I saw you shook your head because I think there was a QB you might have wanted to get taken here over Stroud. But we'll see. We move right along to the Indianapolis Colts, and Mr. Beast Picks is going to select for them. Beast, is the pick in?
The pick is in, and we actually have the blue for the Colts as well, like I mentioned. It's all business over here, boys. And we just spoke about this guy. We're going to take Anthony Richardson, the Indianapolis Colts at number 4, taking Anthony Richardson. I got to be honest, this probably wasn't the guy I was expecting to take. I was expecting Levis to be on the board. I was expecting maybe CJ Stroud to fall. But Anthony Richardson is one of those guys that the Colts, I feel like, are all in on too. Frank Reich, about a month ago, maybe a month or two ago, I don't know, he was talking about Anthony Richardson, and he's like, I was watching tape on this guy, and top of the draft type. He was using these quotes of like top of the draft type player. Maybe it's all smoke, but I don't feel like that. And I'm not saying Frank Reich's making the pick, but I feel like he has a big influence on it. And if you're Frank Reich and you're saying, oh yeah, like this is the guy, I have to go with Anthony Richardson here. I don't see them drafting they probably need a corner. They might need an offensive lineman, but you have to get one of these top 4 quarterbacks off the board. And as crazy as it sounds, I do think the draft is going to do exactly that. I don't know what the order is going to be, but I do think it's going to go QB for all 4.
Yeah, I agree with it. That's kind of who I at first was contemplating as the Titans GM between Stroud and Richardson because they've talked to both. So but I do think I agree because I see people seeing maybe a defensive player going like 2 or 3 or something like that. I don't see that. I think it's going to be 4 straight QBs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody has any other comments on that.
No, I mean, it makes sense.
Okay.
Well, Jim Irsay is the Jerry Jones of the AFC. So yeah, I think that he would get wrapped up with Richardson, as opposed to someone else on the board. And hey man, like before we continue on, like is this the same Anthony Richardson that didn't throw a touchdown until week 3, 4 of the season?
I think it was 4.
Him?
Yep.
4?
I think it was
Ridiculous.
4.
Nope. Bro, like, man, bro, like, he should fall past 5. Like, listen, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. Like, bro, this dude, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? Like, even if he was the bright spot on a bad team, like they still played average for the year. Like what? All right, okay.
I think I 100% agree with the DG. He did not look great in college. I think it's the athleticism that teams are in love with. It's like a Lamar Jackson effect. Like when Lamar Jackson steps on the field, he's the most athletic player on the field, and he's at the most important position. I think we can all agree quarterback is the most important position. So you're getting a guy who's gonna be the most athletic dude on the field. But we've seen guys who are not athletic at all. Ergo Tom Brady. Dominate. So it's definitely one of those where it's tough to say that the quarterback position is a one size fits all, but I don't know.
Yep. Very well said. All right, let's transition now to the number 5 pick, the Seattle Seahawks. We got Mr. DG Betts selecting for Seattle. DG, who do we got going number 5?
With the 5th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks. What's up, 12s? The Seattle Seahawks select Will Anderson from Alabama. He was a wrecking ball all year. Like he showed up and he produced pretty much the whole season. Like he held up his end of the deal. That's it. I mean, there's not much else to say about that one.
No, I mean,
I think Seattle is just known for defense over offense. Like defense wins championships. That's the way Pete Carroll's built. And though they were way better than expected last year, I still think their defense has a lot of holes. And I think, especially if they can draft the best defensive player, whether it in their opinion to be Carter or their opinion to be Anderson, I think they will. Now, if one of those two gets drafted before, then I think maybe they might lean Richardson if he falls, or Will Levis if he falls. Like a quarterback if he falls, but if the best defensive player is available, I think just the Seahawks in their nature will be forced. Like they just have to take him. That's just what they do. Right. I could be wrong, but
yeah.
No, okay.
No, I like I'm spot on with you. And to be honest, like I'm coming up on the 6th pick, so like Will Anderson obviously was like a thought of mine at that, and I was hoping that he would fall to 6. In real life, I'm obviously hoping for that because as a Lions fan, like Will Anderson is such a stud. Imagine like having him coming off the other edge outside of Aiden Hutchinson, like that would be an elite combo. But don't think it's going to happen because I do think that DG's spot on. I don't think he lasts outside the top 5. He's that good. If he does last outside the top 5, I'm not really sure what these teams are thinking, but I don't know. I know he had like a down year compared to his 2022 or 2021, 2022 season, but still wasn't that bad. You know what I mean?
I feel like
he
for
was
defensive.
great.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just he was obviously great and a tremendous player, but boy, did he fucking love to jump off sides last year.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, he did.
Dude he was staying off sides. It was unbelievable.
I was just gonna say a lot of times for defensive players, it's really I don't really know how much stats matter. I think it's more their intangibles, like their physical stuff like that. Like how fast is dude? How big is this dude? How athletic is this dude? He doesn't have to be smart, dude. He just has to know to run, like running to the pass rusher, and then he has to have a good work ethic. He's got to have a guy who's gonna get after it. Those defensive and offensive linemen, they're geared a little different, kind of like fullbacks, where it's just like, dude, your job is to just run and smack into somebody, and you were liking that. You're excited to do that. So that's what the D line. So it just takes a different breed, a different level of athleticism, which he clearly has. So regardless of stats, he's a great player. So I do not want to see him on the Lions. I'm going to be honest with you. So I hope he goes top 5. I would be so mad, dude.
He better be gone.
Yeah.
Will Anderson and Hutchinson. I mean,
that's what we were just saying, man.
Yeah,
that would be
crazy.
lethal.
That would be crazy. Well, speaking of the Lions, let's move on to the number 6 pick with the Detroit Lions. And we got to have the Lions fan draft for the Lions. So, Beast, what do the Lions do here, number 6?
We're excited for this one. I'm definitely excited. With the 6th overall pick, Detroit Lions are taking Jalen Carter, defensive lineman. My thing is here, there's plenty of Lions fans that are, I would say, a little traumatized by the Jameson Williams situation in the past week and character issues and frustrated with his gambling and multiple other players gambling. And a lot of people are like, why would we take a chance on this Jalen Carter guy who had the issues with speeding and, potentially, kind of killing somebody. So there's a lot of questions about character with Jalen Carter. But if you're being honest, from a defensive lineman standpoint, I've heard a lot of people say he's the best defensive lineman to come out since Quinnen Williams. I mean, he's an absolute stud. He was so good in college. I think he's just such a powerful defensive lineman to have that if the Lions could add him, sure. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be Will Anderson off the edge, but instead you're getting a guy that's so powerful in the middle of your line that's just going to plow guys over. He can stop the run. He can rush the passer. I mean, he is an absolute monster, and I think that he would make a huge difference. He'd probably open some things up for your defensive ends. I just think he's such a stud that you can't pass on him. In my opinion, if you're the Lions and you do pass on him to take a cornerback, like there's some talk about, Witherspoon, I don't like that idea. I want to get the defensive tackle. Best player on the board right there is Jalen Carter. Got to take him. So we're going to take Jalen Carter.
Plus, if they did that, then that would pretty much be a redo for Jeff Okuda.
It would. And I don't know if I like that idea because Jeff Okuda, he might be great in Atlanta for all I know, but he really ended up kind of being somewhat of a bust due to injuries and stuff, at least for his first couple of years. Might still be a Pro Bowl corner someday, but
Dude,
it was a waste of a 3rd pick.
He's not going to make a Pro Bowl. He's stinking.
I doubt it.
Now, when he got drafted, I won money on DraftKings because he went above like a certain pick or whatever. Yeah, man. Got paid that night. I was like, yes, sir. Let's go, baby.
He was supposed to be like the best corner
Dude,
in
he was
like
great.
20 years or something. They said he was so good. I will
Right.
say, like at Ohio State, he was the man. But like
He had
that
speed,
means
he had
nothing.
length, he looked natural, like,
Mhm.
and yeah, he sucked ass.
Was
Yeah,
was he drafted over Patrick Surtain?
he
He
was.
was, yeah. He
Yeah.
was the no, he was the
no.
he was the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if that was
Um,
that draft.
No, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
no. Surtain was the draft. Was the next draft.
Okay. Yeah.
He got Okuda got drafted with
Are we
like
sure?
Burrow and Chase Young, and so like, Surtain was in
Tua. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence's
Okay.
class.
Okay.
Surtain was in Trevor Lawrence's class. So it
Because
was
when
the,
there's a guy that you clearly should have drafted before, like when they drafted Jalen Rager instead of
Dude,
Justin
there were some
Jefferson, like
studs. There were some studs that went before or that went after Okuda.
For sure.
but
Yeah.
at his position, I feel like that's kind of the big thing.
At the time,
Really-
Yeah, he was one of the like the best defensive backs like in the country. Like
Yeah.
like like the at the time made perfect sense.
yeah.
My favorite is with those kind of off the field issue guys, they're either really good on the field or they're just trash. Like it's
Yeah.
one or the other. Like it's almost good to have off the field issues because there's a 50% chance that he's going to be one of the best players when he plays, or he might not play all the time. But it's because I think it was the Chiefs when they won one of their Super Bowls were like the most like heavily criminal team. Like they had the most charges of shit.
Gotta do
Which
what you
obviously
gotta
had
do
Tyreek Hill at the
sometimes.
time, some other questionable characters. They once had Kareem Hunt. Like you get those guys with off the seat.
The honey badger.
Yeah, you get,
Yeah.
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 You get a couple of those guys, and they actually end up being good on the field. I mean, Josh Gordon could be one of the best receivers of all time, but he had off the field issues and just couldn't get on that damn field.
Smoked a little tree. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think you're ever wrong going for an off the field issues guy because if he can get his shit together, he's going to be dominant.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
His
just some.
brother-
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's just some concern, I think, out of Lions fans because I don't know, that's just what fans do. They just assume that if like one player who plays a completely different position of receiver had some issues like last week, they think, oh, we can't take a chance on a guy that, may have made some mistakes while he was in college. So like my thing is we'll see. I'm a little concerned that our GM Brad Holmes, he's a very practical guy in the sense I don't know if he would take somebody that we would be concerned about like off the field issues. It feels like he might be one of those people that's like, nope, stay away from that. We want a hardworking guy, an Aiden Hutchinson type of guy where it's like this guy just kind of doesn't do anything wrong in a certain sense off the field. So we'll see.
Yep. Nope. Very well said and very good pick, Beast. We move now to the number 7 pick, the Las Vegas Raiders. And Soup, you finally get to make a pick now here. Number 7. You did have 3, but you traded it. So number 7 pick, Raiders. Who are they going with here?
So I have a Raiders insider that you guys may or may not know. I'm not going to say who it is, but he's a dear friend of mine who is a Raiders fan. And I hit him up and got his expert opinion. And his expert opinion lined up with my professional opinion.
Fair.
And so now I just have the pick. I know exactly who the Raiders are going to take here. And the Raiders are going to take one Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon,
Okay.
cornerback. He's a baller. He's a stud. People are like, oh, he's not physical enough. Dude, he plays fucking cornerback. You don't need to be physical. No one runs the ball anymore. Just cover your guy. You'll be fine. Pick off a few passes. You'll be fine. Christian Gonzalez, Raiders, book it.
Yeah, no, I like dude. This corner class is deep this season. I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping the Vikings can snag one of these good corners, because the corner class is very deep, and I think corners are like obviously you need a good pass rush, but you also need good corner. Like good corners go so far, and they're so tough. I mean, the amount of Vikings corners that they've drafted that have just been awful, like just never been good. PI after PI. Like when I'm like, this guy sucks, and then Aaron Rodgers targets him the first 3 plays, and he gets 2 pass interferences on 2 out of the first 3 plays. I'm like, oh yeah, this dude does suck. because Aaron Rodgers knows it. I know it. Enough said.
I was just about to say, shout out Duke Shelley, and then I realized, oh, the Vikings didn't fucking draft him. Someone, like every decent corner we've had in the last fucking 15 years has not been drafted by us. It's crazy.
Was Xavier Rhodes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Xavier, we did draft his ass. Yeah,
But he peaked and then fell hard.
he fell hard.
He peaked with Odell.
But he was good for a
down.
while. He had some borderline great seasons with the purple.
Yeah, and then was just irrelevant, just awful. Get him off the team.
He did sign with the Colts, and he was decent for a year. I was floored because he was so bad his last year with the purple. He was so bad, bottom 5 cornerback I've ever seen. I'm shocked he got another job, but no, I think he started 14 games. Crazy.
All right.
All right.
I have the pick if we're ready to go.
Yes, number 8 pick, Atlanta Falcons. DJ, what is happening here?
So I'm a little worried this pick's not going to be accurate. I think this is who they should pick, but I think they're going to do something stupid because it's Atlanta. With the 8th pick in the 2023 draft, the Atlanta Falcons are going to select Tyree Wilson, Texas Tech University. They had I think they were 31st in team pressure. Their D-line was just trash. They signed some dudes in the offseason. But I think if one of these D linemen, either it be Tyree Wilson, if they were lucky enough to get Will Anderson, or if Jalen Carter fall to them, I think they scoop them up. But if you want the most realistic pick, and this might be far out, I think they take Bijan Robinson, bro.
Yep.
They love taking offensive players in the top 10 because they took Kyle Pitts, great pick, LOL. And then they just try to take Drake London, which Drake London, maybe not as bad. But Kyle Pitts, obviously awful. Did he get 1 touchdown in his first season, Kyle Pitts? 1?
I think so.
Yeah.
He was a stud last year.
In his rookie year, he had 1.
He's a freak of nature, but they are horrible at designing plays to get on the ball.
Yeah. Nonetheless, they love drafting offensive players, especially if they have a top 10 pick. So I think they actually take Bijan Robinson, but I think that pick's dumb. I think you got to take a guy like Tyrese Wilson because when you're rebuilding, you got to start with defense, I feel like, just in my personal opinion. So I would just like an alt pick of Bijan Robinson in case they don't. And if they take him, I want credit, I guess, is all I'm saying. If they take Tyrese Wilson, then I want credit there too. So both guys.
I will say, though, if the Cardinals don't if the Cardinals don't trade their pick, we have him projected to trading the pick, if they don't, I've seen many, many mock drafts that have him going 3 to the Cardinals.
Yeah. Wilson's very talented, very skilled. They need him, but they're also stupid. And they're yeah, we need Bijan Robinson. He's a generational talent. APs don't grow on trees, my brother. You're not going to find an Adrian Peterson just waltzing around, He ain't going to – Bijan Robinson will probably be good for sure, no doubt. But top 10 pick worthy with this talented of a defensive class, I think it's asinine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Also,
right.
Spending the 8th overall pick on Bijan Robinson would be so dumb when you spent a 5th round pick last year and you got a 1,000-yard rusher in fucking Tyler Algier,
Orman.
Yeah. It's the Falcons, and the Falcons are just dumb as fuck. So if they did take Bijan, I'd be not a shocker. But you just can't take a running back that high. It never works. The only one that's worked in the last 15 years has been Christian McCaffrey, and he still doesn't play a third of the time.
And McCaffrey wasn't that high, was he?
He was pretty fucking high.
I think he was top 10 for sure.
Yeah, top 10.
Yeah.
Okay. I, for some reason, thought he was going, okay, never mind.
Because, running backs are so fluky, man. You could just pick up a dude off a practice squad. Or, Tyler Allegre. Dude, he balled out last year.
And who was the best running back on the Super Bowl champs last year? Fucking Isaiah Pacheco, 7th rounder.
From Texas.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Because they had that CEH or whatever, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
Where they
The
drafted
30, that pick fucked me. That pick absolutely fucked me because I under 1.5 running backs, and the Chiefs got cute and made the worst draft pick ever. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who sucks ass, and they
Who
took
was
him in
the other running back taking that draft?
Kenneth Walker.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Walker was a year or two after. Who was it?
It was Burrow. It would have been Burrow's draft year.
He made me money on that.
Or maybe the over under was 0.5. It honestly might have been.
It might have been, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
I don't remember a running back in that draft.
All I remember is I lost a prop bet on the 32nd pick when I had already cashed a ticket in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was brutal.
All right. Well, I think while we move on to the number 9 pick, the Chicago Bears, and we got the Bears fan in the house. We got Mr. DG Betts. DG, who are the Bears taking number 9?
The Chicago Bears with the 9th pick in the NFL Draft 2023. The Chicago Bears select Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle from the Ohio State University.
Okay.
Justin Fields he needs someone to protect them up front. I feel like the coaching staff and Ryan Post have done an adequate enough job with the talent that they had, and they spent some money this offseason, but they'll aim for more offensive free agents next offseason when the crop is stronger, especially at receiver. So in the meantime, they need to just protect Fields. So that's who the Bears will pick at number 9.
Fields is back there running for his life almost every single game, so I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like exactly what Kyle said. I mean, to be honest, I'm okay with Fields running for his life, because I'm a fan of a team in the North. But think that this definitely would be a great move for them in that sense, because Fields can't consistently just keep running around everywhere and just worrying for his own life probably every play.
Yeah. There's no two ways around it. The Bears need offensive.
They have to.
Yeah, like it's what their scouting says. Like, who of these top 3 guys, the Northwestern guy, can't even think of the other guy. I think there's a Georgia guy in there, and then the Ohio State guy. Yeah. It's like, which one of these guys is the guy? They need to figure that part out, but they need an offensive lineman. Like, you can't invest in a guy like Justin Fields and then be like, not going to give him any line though. So good luck. We saw what happened with Joe Burrow, or even like Mahomes. They got embarrassed in the Super Bowl by the Bucs. What did they do? They went out and fixed their offensive line, and they were significantly better. Like, when you have an asset like that, you got to protect it.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy when the fucking just like how quickly and adequately the Chiefs just revamped their entire offensive line. It was like I'm 23 years old and the Vikings haven't done this fucking once. The Chiefs lost 1 Super Bowl and just went out and immediately did it. I'm like, oh, so it's that easy, huh? Fucking Christ. Like, and here I am just rooting for the wrong team. God, whatever.
Yeah. For sure. All right, DG, that's a good pick. I think we can all agree on that. Let's move on to the number 10 pick, the Philadelphia Eagles. Right back to DG making the pick for the Eagles. DG, who are they going number 10 here?
Yes, sir. And for a good friend of mine who's going to watch this, fly, Eagles, fly on the way to victory. All right. Now, with the 10th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Bijan Robinson, running back out of Texas.
Ooh, okay.
Sir, because Howie Roseman is not playing around. He has his foot, on these people's, like backs and stuff. Just about the Eagles, man. Like he's being aggressive, and that's what it's going to take for them to get back. So I see no reason that he's going to stop it now. So go out and get far and away the best running back in this class.
Wow.
Dude, it would be crazy seeing Jalen Hurts and Bijan Robinson. Like that rushing attack would be fucking crazy.
Exactly.
And then add wide receivers like AJ Brown and Devonta Smith.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of rumors that there's a potential that Bijan Robinson's either going to the Falcons or the Eagles. Like that's all the rumors. Like, dude, he's going to one of these two, which is wild. Which, by the way, Bijan Robinson, top 10 pick, minus 110. So not much value, but if you're convinced he's going to get picked, minus 110, there's a little value for you.
Oh, boy.
I mean, DJ and I have talked for. God damn it, Soup. DJ and I have talked. Talked for no, your notifications keep popping up on my laptop and distracting me.
Sorry.
You're good. Me and DJ have been talking for a while. Bijan Robinson is an NFL ready running back, and we've said it for a while at Texas. He has all those intangibles. He's fast. He's big. He breaks tackles. I don't think he fumbles very much. I think he's worthy of a top 10 pick, to be truthful with you. So I think that'd be a good pick.
Nice. Let's go.
Yeah, it's really whether you're willing to draft a running back top 10. Personally, I hate it, but it is what it is. I think Bijan Robinson is one of the best running backs we've seen in a while, probably since Kenneth Walker. Shout out my boy. But he's very talented, and he doesn't have the miles on him that you think. A lot of running backs have a ton of miles on them. He hasn't had that many carries. He split a decent chunk of carries. He doesn't have the Monty Ball miles, I'll say. So he actually looks good. He looks the part. We'll see. Yeah. Who's up next?
All right, so we move on now to the number 11 pick. After the trade with the Tennessee Titans, the Arizona Cardinals are up. Soup, what do we got with the number 11 pick?
Okay, so number 11 pick, and this one's tough because for a multitude of reasons, this one's tough. First and most glaring is Cardinals fired their GM. Second most glaring, Cardinals fired their head coach. And third most glaring is their quarterback, Kyler Murray, fucking sucks. So you really have
the fourth most glaring where their workout facilities look worse than a middle school gym. Fuck out of here, bro.
There's a lot going on that makes this pick fucking murky. What do you do? Does the GM want to blow everything up? Does he want to push the timeline, like 3-4 years down the road? Is he going to try to win now with Murray? I don't fucking know. I have no idea. So I'm kind of shooting from the hip here. And they're definitely trading back though. Like I got that right. Even if I get this pick wrong, I'm definitely correct in the sense that they're for sure trading out of 3. So no matter what, even if I get this pick wrong, I'm giving myself an A+ for trading back from 3. That being said, I'm a Big Ten guy, and I'm going to take cornerback Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. I think he's a stud. I think the Cardinals. I do think they're going to go defense. I think they're going to trade back and go defense because I do think that the GM knows he has time. Like no GM is fired in year 1 or most of the time. He's going to have some time to figure it out. And I think taking a really good, big cornerback is what is the pick you're going to take when you have like three years to work with, 3 years to build a contender, 3 years to get a good defense. I think he's going defense. Yeah, trade back defense. Let's fucking go. Devin Witherspoon, he's a beast. He's a baller. Illinois was great last year. Okay, maybe they weren't great. Illinois was better than expected last year, and he is definitely part of the reason why.
Yeah,
spitting only facts.
Chase Brown had a great season for Illinois.
Yeah,
they were crazy.
Nope, I like that pick a lot, Soup. I think that's definitely a route I can see the Cardinals going to go defense there too, and I do think they will trade back.
They're for sure trading back. someone will want a QB. Someone will want a QB, and they couldn't have made it more obvious that the number 3 pick is for sale. So it's just it's natural. It's yeah.
Yep. And the cornerback class is very talented, very good
Yep.
key pieces to start with. It makes sense. Yeah, no, great pick. I think that's a good, I feel like he's kind of slid a little bit to you there. I think there may have been some other
He's a
corners.
stud. He's a stud.
Yeah.
Nope, that's a good pick, Soup. I like that a lot. So let's transition now. We got the number 12 pick. We got the Houston Texans back on the clock, and I will be drafting for the Houston Texans. And I like this pick a lot, and I think pretty much every mock draft I've read have them taking this man. I think this is the pick, I think, and I like this a lot. But with the 12th pick in the 2023 NFL draft, the Houston Texans select Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State. The Texans lost their top 2 leading wide receivers from last year in Brandon Cooks and Chris Moore, who only had 699 yards and 544 yards receiving, respectively, last season. They did sign Robert Woods, but he's 31. I think if they do take Levis too, they're going to need a receiver that is kind of a threat. And I think JSN brings that. He did have a bunch of injuries in 2022 and he opted out. But in 2021, he had, over 1,600 yards. He's got a really good ability to beat zones, and he and Stroud connected on a lot of deep passes, which makes him a deep threat in the NFL, which I know NFL teams like a lot. This gives the Texans a much-needed weapon to help Levis or whatever QB the Texans take. I like Jackson Smith-Njigba, number 12, to the Houston Texans here.
Yeah, he's the best receiver in the draft, if you ask me. And, as much as I think I talked up CJ Stroud earlier, and I was like, well, it's pretty nice when you got a first-round receiver like JSN. He's that good. And I think you could put him in a lot of different formations, and he would fit pretty much any offense. It's not like he's one of those guys that only would work with certain offensive coordinators. No, any offensive coordinator would be lucky to have him. I think he's going to be a star. Wouldn't be shocked if he was kind of like very similar to, how talented Garrett Wilson was last year for the Jets and like how quick he came on. I could see JSN coming on that fast where he's good kind of from day one. You know what I mean?
And speaking of Ohio State wideouts, if he comes out next year, Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the first receiver taken in the 2024 draft.
Well, yeah.
He's insane.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I really can't add much to it.
No way he's no way he's the first receiver. No chance.
Well, we'll come back to this next year. We'll see kind of where we're at next year. Just to keep,
we can put something on it if you want to.
What's that?
I said we can put something on it if you want.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Okay, all right.
Wouldn't be opposed.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay,
I look forward.
You two come up with something. You two come up with something, and we might come back to this at the end of the show.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
Just to keep us moving along here. So we get the number 13 pick, the Green Bay Packers, and Soup is selecting for the Green Bay Packers. Soup, who are they taking number 13?
I won't lie. It was really hard for me to keep my blatant hatred for the Green Bay Packers. I wanted to tank the pick. I wanted to take someone who sucks ass just to make myself feel better, because I want them to just fucking, I don't know, fail in every measurable metric. But anyways, not gonna do that. I'm gonna make who I think they should take, or I'm gonna make the pick that I think they should take, and I'm also gonna make the pick that catches one of my prop bets. The Packers in the first round are going to select tight end Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame.
Okay,
Number 87. There's a few things that go into this. Number one, he's really good. Number two, I don't think Jordan Love is an Aaron Rodgers, and I think Jordan Love should depend more on tight ends than wide receivers for just dinking and dunking down the field. And number three, the Packers are going to absolutely like give Aaron Rodgers the bird. Everyone knows a stat. Like it's been fucking 18 years or whatever since the Packers have taken a skill position player in the first round. This is the year that they're going to break that when they no longer have Rodgers, just to spite him. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be beautiful. They are going to think that he's the most talented player left on the board. Boom. Michael Mayer, 87, Notre Dame, book it.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting pick. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that that could happen. That it could go there. So
I'm gonna be honest, I was the one who started those rumors. That was all.
Soup is very good at getting the rumor mill going, but it makes sense. Soup, they got to get somebody to help out because I think didn't Lazard go to the Jets too with Rodgers, so they need another like receiver, tight end like thing. So nope, I like that.
I have. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I've brought on a Make-A-Wish kid for the New England Patriots pick. Brought in a Pats fan himself, who loves the Pats. So here to make the 14th pick, I'll turn it to the man's. Oh, he said he didn't unmute it. He's stupid.
Son of a bitch. I'm off to a great start. I can't trade back here and draft a D2 guy. So this isn't really going to be what the Pats are going to be like here. But I'm going to do what I want them to do, which never happens. We're drafting Zay Flowers.
Okay.
He's by far
sick.
one of like
Okay.
second to Ninja, whatever his name is, Jackson Smith. I think he's the best one. He's out of Boston College, but everything I've said, this dude's going to be a stud. Boston area kid, go into the Patriots. And we need receivers. We have a bunch of mids. So yeah, Zay Flowers.
Wasn't it just like 2 years ago that Bill had the most expensive offseason of all time on wide receivers and tight ends? Wasn't that just like 2 seasons ago?
They're Henry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't recall.
It's crazy that you say all of your receivers are mids when you guys have just a huge cap bill on these skill position guys.
I know. Sometimes you miss on wide receivers and win Super Bowls. Sometimes you hit on wide receivers and don't win any ever. I guess that's just the two worlds we're living in there, Soup.
No, the world you're living in right now. No.
What are you talking about? I got with all those stacked up, I got 5 more years before I'm gonna really be upset. I'm fine, dude. We'll ride it out for a little bit. It's okay. We can be mediocre.
You guys were a little worse than mediocre last year, I won't lie.
What happened on Thanksgiving too? Who did they play on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I got some back connection, boys. I gotta have it.
Wait, Jacob, quick though. If you weren't drafting with who you really want, who do you think realistically they would take? Like an offensive lineman here?
Yeah, offensive tackle.
Yeah,
possibly trading back if they don't get the guy the tackle they want. But yeah, I can see a trade back to 28 happening for sure. Is really what's going to happen. But
smart.
All right.
So appreciate it.
Thanks for hopping on, buddy. Appreciate you.
I love you, buddy.
Love you guys.
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Mwah.
See you, JT.
All right, there, bro.
Deej, are you sticking with Zay Flowers then, or are you gonna take a lineman as you think that's more likely? I don't care what you do. I just didn't know what you wanted.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Realistically, I feel like they would take Peter Skoronsky, but I don't want to completely undermine Jacob popping on.
It was his wish.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like
Up to you, man.
Yeah, you're the GM. You let me know. I just didn't know because he said that's what I want to happen, but realistically, this is going to happen. I didn't know if you wanted to stick with the Zay Flowers or if you wanted to go.
I would go with Peter.
Okay.
If we're gonna do because this is a realistic draft. Let's go with Peter. I doubt Zay. They would trade back and then draft Zay Flowers, which maybe is what he's alluding to as well. If they draft Zay Flowers 14th and I chose to change this, though, I will never forgive myself.
Jacob should shit in your mouth.
Wow. Don't know about that. seems like there's somewhere in between there. Like that is a wide gap of what could happen.
That's straight to it.
All right, so but I do see them going O-line. I think the Patriots were one of the leaders in sacks last year, so I do think they need to help protect Mac Jones. So I do like that. Skoronski.
Yeah, and if Skowski or whatever the hell his name is on the board, I bet they draft him. I don't think he'll be on the board, but if he's there, they'll take him. And the same with Paris Johnson. Like if he's on the board, they'll take him.
Skoronski's climbing down draft boards, though. I could see him getting to the Patriots at 14.
For sure, but he's Big Ten, so he won't go past the Pats. If he's there, Pats take him.
Right, for sure. Nope, I agree with that. But all right, let's move on now to the number 15 pick, the New York Jets, and Mr. Beast Picks is selecting for them. Beast, they just got Aaron Rodgers. What are they going to do to help with the team as well?
This one's kind of tough because I would see them trading back if Paris Johnson and Skoronski are both gone at this point, because I don't think it's really a secret to anybody. Like the Jets, I don't see them taking anything other than an offensive lineman at this point. FanDuel has odds up for what their first round pick is going to be, and it's -300 for an offensive lineman of some sort, which is a ridiculous number. Like that's pretty much feels like a lock at that point. But anyways, to get to the pick, we're going to take the number 15 overall pick. We're going to take Broderick Jones out of Georgia. It was his first year starting last year at left tackle, and he was an absolute key piece of that Georgia team that obviously dominated everybody that we were so impressed by. And I think that he's somebody that maybe he has a little bit more life in him. Like I said, it was his first year starting last year. So maybe there's something that they kind of see out of scouting just from a perspective of this guy could be more ceiling to come, I guess. But personally, if you're settling for Broderick Jones at 15, it feels like that's a reach at that point. And I feel like they would probably try to trade back because you could probably get Jones at like the number 19 or the number 20 pick, or you know what I mean? It feels like that's probably 5 or 6 picks too early for him. I could be wrong on that. Maybe teams have him valued more, but if we're not trading anything here, it's going to be Jets taking him at 15 because I don't see them taking anything other than an offensive lineman.
I will say, like, I feel like the Pats and the Jets are drafting kind of the same. They're both
very
taking
similar,
the best
yeah.
offensive tackle available. So it could go either way. It could go Broderick Jones first, and then it could go, Skoronski or whatever the hell his name is. So, yeah, very similar there. I mean, great pick, though. You got Aaron Rodgers coming in, and he's 1 billion years old. He's also the worst player of all time. No one likes him. I've talked to everybody in his family. They all hate him.
He's not as mobile as he once was, too. And I feel like he probably, we don't necessarily talk about that enough. I feel like people still give Aaron Rodgers a ton of credit for being like a mobile quarterback. He's mobile, but he is not as mobile as he once was. Like this guy's not
mobile as fuck.
He used to be, I feel like, much more dual threat than he is now. I think he wants to sit in the pocket as much as he can now, but he still can roll out and run. I'm not saying he can't, but I don't think he's what he once was.
He used to get like 6 rushing touchdowns a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that's, if the books are saying that, then they obviously know something that.
Yeah, -300 is ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially for a player position to get drafted. No, I like that pick a lot, Beast. All right, let's move on to the number 16 pick, the Washington Commanders, and I am selecting for them. So with the 16th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Darnell Wright, offensive tackle, Tennessee. I think the reason they go this route is Washington. They both their offensive linemen are going to be 30 plus. I think one's 33, one's 31. So we're getting up there. The Commanders gave up 48 sacks last year. That's tied for 6th most in the NFL. I do believe that Sam Howell is probably going to be their starter next year. They got to protect him because it's going to be his He's going to be fairly new under center, so they need an offensive lineman to kind of help with that, get those sacks down. I think they go the best offensive lineman there. I thought maybe they'd go like a Broderick Jones or a Skoronski if it dropped to him, but since they're both gone, I think they take the next best offensive lineman, which in my opinion is Darnell Wright.
Yeah, no, spot on.
So
Good pick.
I feel
No.
like it's very tough when we're trying to make all these breakdowns of offensive linemen because we're
Oh, yeah.
acting like we fucking watch snaps of offensive linemen
I'm
when we were
not
watching
running
college
film.
football. You know what I
No.
mean? Like that's the last film I'm gonna look up. But there's a lot of people that you trust out there that do like scouting and stuff, and it's like, yeah, like if that guy said he's good, he's usually pretty spot on, and that's where I take my assessment. But it's tough because we're trying to break down like oh yeah, dude, did you see that one play in like the Northwestern game from like like what
right, for sure.
The way he kicked out his left foot on this play was beautiful. Like, no,
It was quick,
no,
bro.
right,
Them
right.
3 steps. Boom.
Yeah.
His hands were in a perfect position, like right before
Yeah.
the defensive lineman and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
Such a low center of gravity around the base. See, so when the hips swivel, the centrifugal force of the circumference of the team around him allows him to do a Hadouken, if you will, a la Ryu or Ken from Street Fighter 2.
Now this guy's got long arms too. He can really reach out.
Well said.
And he's got a high motor too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
A high motor. Yeah. Oh, listen.
Absolutely. Well, so far we've only had one trade in the first round. We'll see if that holds true throughout the rest of the time. If we have any teams making trades on draft day besides the Cardinals and the Titans, and sometimes there's only one, so we'll kind of play by ear and see what happens. But we move on now to the number 17.
Sorry, weren't there like 12 last year?
There was a
There was
shit
a
ton
shitload.
last year.
It was fucking insane.
Well, the year
I feel
before
like
that,
they're so hard to predict though. Like
Yeah.
the
Oh,
ability
right.
to predict
Yeah.
who's gonna trade.
the year before that, I think there was one, and it was before the draft even started. 2 years ago, there was no trades for the first round on draft. So you just don't know. That's why, like, if there's just one, then it kind of is what it is. And like last year, there was a shit ton. So
do you think 2 years ago, or so the 2021 NFL draft, do you think there was no trades because no one was actually around one another because of COVID?
maybe
I don't know.
that was
Yeah, right.
that was the Lawrence year. Whenever no trades happened, that was Lawrence's class.
I don't know.
I might be conflating years. Who knows?
You are, because the COVID year was Burrow. I believe.
Sue me. I'm kidding.
No, I'm not trying to correct.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I was saying I'm not trying to correct you
So
at
you
all.
ain't
I'm
worth
just
shit,
saying what
boy.
I thought.
I ain't gonna sue you.
What'd you say, Deej?
Soup said to sue him, and I said I know he isn't worth shit, so I ain't gonna sue him.
Okay. All right. Before we go down a legal rabbit hole here, let's move on to the number 17 pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. DG Betts is selected for them. DG, what do we got? Number 17.
With the number 17 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State.
Great pick.
Yep, I
He's
like
a
that.
baller.
My man. But yeah, they need the help. If Mike Tomlin, who has yet to have a losing season as a head coach, as they always say, but as they should, but they need help in the defensive backfield. They're stronger than I think they expected that they were going to be on their offensive line, and I feel like that affords them the chance to get a blue chip contributor on the defensive backfield.
No, that's a very good pick. I know from the four of us being Big Ten fans, we've seen him, and he's a baller, and I think he's definitely worthy of a first round pick for sure. So I like that pick a lot.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right. Seeing no other no other comments here. Let's move on to the number 18 pick, the Detroit Lions. Back to Beast here with the 2 first-round picks here, representing the blue and the suit coat Beast picks does. Beast, who do we got number 18 here for the Detroit Lions?
What up? No.
I gotta say, before making this pick, what a great feeling it is to have 2 picks inside the top 20 as the Detroit Lions enter this year. I think that this is a good opportunity if they do things right, like I want them to. You could really build a nice, solid team. So with the number 18 overall pick, we're going to take Deonte Banks from Maryland, cornerback. I love him. To be honest, my thing was regardless of who DG took out of Joey Porter Jr. or Deonte Banks, both corners I think are absolute studs. Both, ironically, Big Ten guys that put up some solid numbers. My thing with Banks, and probably why I actually think I lean him just a hair more as a Lions fan over Porter Jr., is Banks' stats in the combine were ridiculous. He was like 90th percentile or more for everything. He ran a 4.35 40. His broad jump was ridiculous. His vertical was like the 97th percentile, like 42, 43 inches, something ridiculous like that. He put up some absolute numbers. So if you're somebody that is not necessarily as focused on like tape versus like everybody talks about, oh, the potential, I think there's a ton of potential of his athleticism, but he wasn't bad at Maryland. I thought he had really solid numbers. He was really solid last year. I would say 2 years ago, maybe it wasn't as good as last year's performance, but my thing is if the Lions could get Jalen Carter at 6, like I said, then you get your corner with Deonte Banks at number 18. That's 2 huge pieces you'd add to that defense. So we're going to take Deonte Banks here, stack that defense, baby. We'll focus on the rest later on in the second and third rounds.
That's a great pick. Now, he can't cover Justin Jefferson, but still a great pick.
We'll have to see. If he proved himself to be better than Jeff Okudah, I think it would piss me off more that we took Okudah at 3. And there's a real possibility that could happen.
Nope, I like that.
One thing, Beast, like you saying, there's no better feeling than having 2 picks in the top 20.
Yeah.
That's literally so true. Like having multiple first round picks is the best feeling in the world. You're just like, oh my God, we have like the future is here. Like it's or like the future's right there. I'll never forget when the Vikings had 3 first round picks. It was the greatest fucking feeling in the world. And it turns out Xavier Rhodes, Cordarrelle Patterson, and Sharif Floyd did not turn the franchise around like I thought they would. But on draft day, I did. On draft day, I totally thought they were going to turn our franchise around. So yeah, nothing more true during this entire fucking recording has been said than how awesome having more than one first round draft picks is.
If nothing else, we're winning the off season.
Yes.
Right.
I think, hey, with how much banners the Lions have, we should hang a fucking banner for that. Put that one up, maybe like retire a couple jerseys of guys that probably don't deserve to be in a like retired jersey ceremony. Like the Lions, the most embarrassing thing, without getting too off sidetracked here, they were ready to hang up a banner for just making the playoffs back in the 90s. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it was so bad, dude. Or it was like maybe they like won 1 game in the playoffs. Like, you don't hang a banner for a one win in the playoffs. Something ridiculous like that. And the fans kind of like boycotted it. I think they may have actually taken the banner down because it was that bad. But like, come on, guys.
Banners last forever.
Right.
I really like what the Lions are doing. I'm still intrigued that I feel like the NFC North is going to be one of the better divisions in football for like the next couple years.
We need the Packers to hold up their weight on that.
No,
because I feel like
fuck them Packers.
What I was gonna say, no, you
know
don't.
it. Fuck Green Bay. Fuck nah, but I also love David Montgomery
Oh yeah.
to Detroit.
Yeah.
Sports fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
Side.
you know how he can ball out. I think he'll be solid behind that offensive line for sure.
Yes, I well, maybe they're happy with Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman, but I feel like the Bears are gonna draft running back
Yeah,
within the first 3 rounds.
Yeah. Could
Agreed.
very well be. No, Beast, that's a good pick. I think we all agree with it. Let's move on now to the number 19 pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Soup is drafting for the Buccaneers. Soup, who do you got the Buccaneers taking number 19?
If you guys remember the things that I brought up for it's going to be hard to figure out who the Cardinals draft here because there are just so many new pieces. We haven't seen the GM draft before, new head coach, all this. Kyler Murray sucks. Kyler Murray's so bad, by the way. He's so
Good at
fun.
Call of Duty.
But anyways, maybe even a bigger deal than all of those combined. Losing your head coach, losing your GM, your quarterback sucks. Maybe a bigger deal than all of that combined is losing the indisputable GOAT, Tom Brady. You lose the greatest player in NFL history. Literally no one can argue it. It's not argued anymore. He is the greatest to ever do it, the greatest of all time, the GOAT. 7 fucking Super Bowl rings. Oh my God, what I do to sniff one. Cut this part, Fred. Cut it for JT. Don't let him hear this. Don't let him hear this. But anyways, it's confusing. The franchise is in disarray. Or, I mean, at least it's close to being in disarray. I guess it's not quite there. But what do you do here? I mean, just ask yourself the question. Are you going to trust Kyle Trask? Is Kyle Trask the future? No, he's not. Be fucking for real. Don't lie to yourself. Kyle Trask sucks. I think someone's going to want to get cute. Someone's going to want to make a name for themselves. Here at 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Hendon Hooker, Tennessee.
Let's go.
And even though he's like 28 years old, I think what is he actually, 25? He's old as fuck.
He's pretty old, yeah. I don't know.
They're going to look at him as the future, which, dumb. He is the present. He is 25 years fucking old. But whatever.
I love alliteration, though. I love alliteration. So, Hendon Hooker.
Dude, I am a sucker for alliteration. It's great.
Someone should make one man's Trask another man's treasure as their fantasy.
That's good. That's good.
That is pretty good. Yeah, it's interesting, Soup. We'll see if they decide to go QB here, if maybe they wait and maybe try to go for one next year. But I do see them.
That's what they should do. They should wait. But that's no fun.
It sounds like teams that are like middle of the pack and stuff like that, they're talking about maybe like tanking next year to go after like a Caleb Williams or something like that.
Yeah, but that's what everyone's saying now. Wait until it's draft day, baby.
Right.
Wait until the fucking potential golden goose is about to shit out a potential golden egg. Like when draft day starts, it's like everyone's doing drugs. Like, you don't know, you might just start making out with a chick. You might just do it. Everyone's going crazy, taking calls they didn't think they'd take. Like, everyone's going nuts, and boom, you're on the clock. Hendon Hooker. I don't know. What if he's a future Hall of Famer? I'd go down in the history books as being the GM who drafted him. Who gives a fuck about next year? We have right now. It's literally me in the casino. I'm just like, I could save this money, or $100 hand of blackjack is awfully electric. It's a good time.
Let me just double it up quick, and then I'll consider leaving.
Right. No, that's a ballsy pick there, Soup, but I think it could very well happen. So yeah, I respect it.
I'm gonna take a win if they just go QB. If it's not Hooker, I'll still be like, I was right.
I'll lose my prop bet, but I do appreciate the pick nonetheless.
I'll give you credit if it's a QB. So
yeah,
I'll give you credit.
Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll let you double answer here.
We'll give you your flowers. All right. Let's move on to the number 20 pick, the Seattle Seahawks, and DG Betts is selecting for them once again. DG, who do we got going number 20?
Number 20, the Seattle Seahawks in 2023 NFL Draft select Miles Murphy, defensive end from Clemson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biased.
What?
He's sick. He had
I love
so much
defense.
pressures on quarterbacks. Like that's something I guess I didn't know. I knew he was good at Clemson, and like his tape obviously looks great. But ESPN was like talking about his like how much quarterback pressures he puts on, and it was a ridiculous number. Like I guess I didn't realize that watching all of his games, but he is super good at getting to the quarterback.
He can collapse the pocket.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Nope. I don't think anyone will disagree with that. Now imagine him and Will Anderson on defense. I mean, that's pretty solid.
That would be quite the coup for the Seahawks and me.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's a great pick. Great pick.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. I don't think we need to go much further in depth there because I think we all agree it's a good pick. And I think it's the pick that could happen, DG. So
yeah,
very nicely done. Let's transition now to the number 21 pick, the Los Angeles Chargers. DJ is selecting for the Los Angeles Chargers. So far, DJ, I haven't done the DJ switch up yet. So I have been pretty good with that. And we've all been pretty good with that. So DJ, who are the Chargers taking number 21?
Well, there's an obvious pick. There's an obvious pick the Chargers should take, but I don't think they do. I think they take another guy. So with the 21st pick in the 2023 draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Dalton Kincaid, whatever the hell his name is, tight end, Utah. So I think the Chargers should take Nolan Smith here out of Georgia, or honestly, I think they should take Miles Murphy if he falls to them. I think they should take an edge rusher. They need one. Both of their edge rushers are getting old. Bosa can't stay healthy. Like they need a young, because I think the other one would be Mac, who's 1 billion years old.
Yeah.
So I think they need one, but I also think the Chargers are playing for right now. And right now, they don't have a tight end. And if you ask Chargers fans, they're still living in this Antonio Gates is the GOAT era. So, like, they think they can find themselves another stud tight end, and they love good tight ends in LA. I mean, formerly San Diego when they had, obviously, Antonio Gates. Nonetheless, their needs are receiver and tight end. I could see them taking Jordan Addison here, but they do have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen for now. Obviously, Keenan Allen's going to go, and they're going to have to pay Mike Williams an asinine amount to play potentially 7 games a year, which is just ridiculous. But they do need a tight end really bad. They don't have one. They haven't had one since Antonio Gates, to be honest with you. I guess they had Hunter Henry there for a little bit. My bad. But, yeah, I think they go with Dalton here. I think they like the kid. I think he fits what they need, and it's going to help them outscore the Chiefs. Whereas taking an edge rusher isn't going to help them beat the Chiefs this year because he's not going to play as much because there's dudes in front of him. So I think they play for right now. They're all in this season. They're all in to win this year. And getting a weapon on offense is where they're going to go. I lean tight end. I could also see Jordan Addison here, though. Would not be surprised.
Yeah, I think AFC West to win that, you got to have a really solid defense. And I think they definitely got to fill that hole at tight end. So I like that pick a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Good analysis, boys.
I would say it must be a pretty good pick, Deej, if nobody's got anything else to say. But let's transition now. Let's go to the number 22 pick, the Baltimore Ravens, and Beast is selecting for the Ravens. Beast, who do we got going number 22?
All right, boys, we got to go. The number 22 overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens are selecting wide receiver Jordan Addison.
Yeah,
I think it's not really too much of a surprise to most of us that the Ravens need a receiver. And if you could get, a big time playmaker like Jordan Addison, I mean, the guy stretches the field like nobody else. Obviously, everybody knows that, he won the Blitnikoff in 2021, but he was really good at USC last year, too. I mean, he's 2 years in a row. He's been an absolute monster, showing you everything you want out of like your number one type receiver. A lot of people obviously saw, the Ravens just added Odell. This would just bolster your wide receiver depth at that point. And I think that to be honest, Addison has the type of potential to, whether Odell's there or not, to be a type of number one receiver for years to come. I think he is that good, and I think Lamar Jackson and him could be an absolutely dynamic duo. That's if the Lamar Jackson stays with the Ravens long term. But regardless of who you have at quarterback, Addison's that good that he's going to find space. He's going to catch a ton of balls. He's going to be great. He's going to be a fantasy football fun kind of pick next year. I think he's going to be one of those rookie receivers you take and he catches you like 80 passes potentially. I mean, he's going to be a stud, man.
I love that pick, and if Lamar stays with the Ravens, I think that makes their offense just a completely different offense with Addison. I love that pick if they decide to go that route.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's other receivers obviously on the board, but at that point, my thing is sure, we could talk about Quentin Johnson and some of the other receivers that are out there as, solid first round picks, but Addison, I think he'd be a good fit in that offense. I think it would work well.
Yeah, nope, I agree for sure.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be electric. I'd like to see the Ravens with an actually good receiver for once. Is Lamar legit or not? I've never seen him with a good receiver.
There you go. Yeah.
He hasn't hit me up to play catch anytime. I mean, I'll run routes for him. It'd be the best receiver he's ever seen.
Put me out, coach.
He's been an unrestricted free agent for some time now.
It's been multiple drafts, and my name has just not been called.
Yep.
My agent must suck. His name, Josh Campbell, hasn't got me a damn job anywhere.
No,
That's a problem.
Hold on. Isn't there a conflict of interest that your agent is also your lawyer?
No, you can be both.
Yeah, it's called dual representation, dual agency. It's pretty typical in the market these days.
Says the lawyer.
I don't know. I think there's a
Move to strike.
Opportunity to pierce the corporate veil with that happening, but
we're good.
Okay. Sounds good. I won't question you anymore then. All right,
let's go. The pick I'm most excited for.
Yes, the 23rd pick, the Minnesota Vikings. I know we're going to have a lot of conversation on this. Soup is up making that pick. Soup, who do we got, number 23?
First of all, don't be surprised if the Vikings trade back here. We traded our second-round pick for TJ Hawkinson. Shout out the Lions. Although you guys did get a second-round pick back. That's fair compensation. I think it's a win-win for both sides. What's up? Oh, I thought someone said something. Anyways, so don't be surprised if we trade back here. But if we don't trade back here, we are going to take, this is going to be a Brian Flores pick, okay? This is going to be, we have an actual defender, an actual defensive guy in the building for the first time since we let go of Zimmer. Ed Donatell's shell last year almost killed me. It almost fucking ruined my life to the very end. Anyways, we upgraded in such a massive way. Former head coach who was only fired because he pointed out that his team was trying to collude and he was taking refused bribes to throw games because he's a competitor. He's a winner. He knows the game. He lives the game. Anyways, Brian Burns pick. We're going to take safety. Brian Branch out of Alabama. First safety off the board. He is exactly what you want in a safety. He's versatile. He can move around the field. He's an elite tackler. Fun fact, out of 174 career tackling attempts, he's missed 4 tackles. That's not very much. 173, or wait, no. What is it? 170 out of 174? I'll take that percentage any day of the week. We need safeties. Harrison Smith is getting old. We don't really have a good second. He played at Alabama. Yeah, this is going to be a money pick for the Vikings. They should make this pick every fucking time. He is good. Alabama produces good players. Alabama produces good defensive backs. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. We got to take him here. We didn't take Kyle Hamilton last year because we're fucking stupid. And now we are going to make up for that decision, and we're going to take Brian Branch, Alabama, winner.
Great pick. Phenomenal. You did your job.
Dude, I won't lie. Like, I'm so hyped up right now just thinking about this pick and talking about this pick. Like, my fucking my beats per minute is going crazy. Upper triple digits, bro. I'm fucking ready. Let's fucking go. Oh, dude, I want to watch football so bad.
Man,
It's just a little throw over the middle. Guess
Very
who's
good.
there? Boom! Legal tackle. Incomplete pass. Fourth down. Vikings.
Punt.
3 and out. Back to the defense.
Yeah. Nope, that's Harrison Smith still with the Vikings, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he took
He's
he
got
took a
2
pay
years
cut,
left.
a hometown discount.
Okay.
Good.
And then who's the other safety for the Vikings then?
The fucking dog ass rookie we took last year, who's big and fat and slow. Okay, he's not fat, but he's big and slow, and he sucks. I don't
What,
remember
the
his
kid
name.
from Georgia?
Yeah, we took
Yes.
instead of Kyle
Sign,
Hamilton.
Lewis Sign or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Louis
Louis
Sign.
Sign.
Scene.
He's the worst. Yeah, we
He's
took
the
him. and
worst.
Hamilton didn't have like this groundbreaking year, but he was a lot better than our fucking dog water that we had back there. Oh my god.
No, I like the pick. They got a defensive guy. They need a defensive star. I like that a lot. Him and Harrison Smith in the back of the defense. I think that's going to be good. I like that a lot.
Need it.
Yep, for sure. Nope, good pick there, Soup. We transition now to the number 24 pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wait, hold on a second. We got a trade, boys and girls. The Jacksonville Jaguars GM Kyle Comas trades with GM Kyle Comas from the Kansas City Chiefs to move up to the number 24 pick. And with the number 24 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College. Kansas City needs, they want another weapon to help out Patrick Mahomes. I've seen several rumors that the Chiefs are going to try to trade up. The guy they've talked about trading up for is Zay Flowers. Jacksonville doesn't need this pick right now. So I think this is an opportunity for a trade, and this is another trade. You know, I said that the Cardinals and Titans trade I do think is going to happen. I do think the Chiefs are going to trade up. They want to get a wide receiver to go with Mahomes, and they really, really like Zay Flowers. I think this is the perfect opportunity for it to happen, and it's between myself and myself. So it makes it that much easier. So we are going to take Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College.
Josh, let me pitch an idea here quick. Jordan Addison's still on the board.
No,
Chiefs trade up to the Vikings. No, I'm pitching an idea, Kyle. Jordan Addison's still on the board. Chiefs trade up to the Vikings. Vikings trade back to the 31st, and still the Vikings get Branch. Win.
That
That
would
Every
be so
win.
cool.
That's what's going to happen. Addison's going to be on the board. They're going to trade up. Or Zay Flowers. They're going to trade up with the Vikes. Who says no?
Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
No, I mean, the Chiefs need, obviously they're just amazing. Might as well throw another great guy. I can see this happening for sure. Andy Reid's an offensive-minded guy. He likes Zay Flowers. I feel like he can spot offensive talent really well, except for Sky Moore. That didn't really work out. So maybe he can't. I don't know. But he can coach it. That's for damn sure. So, yeah. Would it surprise you guys if the Chiefs traded up and got a tight end? Because Kelsey's getting old.
It would surprise me.
It would surprise me too, I think.
Think so?
Nobody trades up for a tight end. Not in the first.
That's going to be one of my long shots. Chiefs trade up, draft Dalton, or if Myers fallen that far, Chiefs trade up, get him, and then Kelsey retires. Boom, next tight end, right off the Kelsey system. But yeah, just long shot there.
Yeah,
Washington.
or Washington. Yeah.
At Kansas City, be amazing.
Yep. So no, I do think that's going to happen. Chiefs have talked about trading up to get a wide receiver, and pretty much every expert out there thinks that they're going to go with Zay Flowers. They like him a lot to go to the Chiefs, and he fits the Chiefs system really well. He's a speedy wide receiver, which Mahomes likes. So I do like that pick a lot. So we'll make that 2 trades on the evening. So let's transition now to the number 25 pick, the New York Giants. And DJ is selecting for the Giants. DJ, who do the Giants take number 25?
With the 25th pick in the 2023 draft, the New York Giants select Quentin Johnson, TCU. Giants need a receiver. They don't have one. They haven't had one since Odell. They thought they had some with Victor Cruz at one point. The salsa ran out. No more salsa, no more free refills. This isn't your favorite Mexican restaurant, okay? Yeah, no, especially with all the receivers jumping late there. The Giants, if they don't trade up, are looking at nobody or Quentin Johnson. They could go Jalen Hyatt with Tennessee, but we saw that Burks cap from Tennessee did not work out. So they're learning right away. Stay away from Tennessee receivers. No, I'm joking, Kyle. Just joking.
Burks went to Arkansas.
Well, I'm talking.
Treylon Burks went to Arkansas. I'm almost positive.
I will move to strike, counter.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. Nonetheless, I think Quentin John. I think there's 4 stud receivers. Obviously, JSN, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, and Quentin Johnson. I think those are the big 4. And then after that, I think there is a massive fall off. So I think the Giants here feel the pressure. 3 of the top 4 are gone. If they don't trade up, they're going to have to take Quentin here. So yeah, they'll draft Quentin because they need receivers so badly.
Say that trade I just made didn't happen. Do you see the Giants taking Zay Flowers over Johnston, or do you think they take Johnston no matter what here?
Personally, I think they take Johnson no matter what.
Okay.
And that's nothing against Zay Flowers, but you can't have your number 1 option be 5'8" or however. Zay's a pretty small dude. You can have Zay's a perfect compliment, but what are you going to do when you get in the red zone? Is Zay just irrelevant? You need a dude who can go up and get it, whereas Quentin's more of that jump ball. Quentin can do more than Zay just strictly because of size, I think, personally. So I think the Giants lean Quentin. But, again, what do I know? I'm probably going to go 0 for on all my picks. Will Levis is going to get drafted 1. I'm going to look like an idiot.
No, yeah, I like the pick, DJ. I think they need a wide receiver, and I like Johnston a lot. I think he's very, very – they talk about the 3 before him, but I think Johnston's very, very underrated, and I think he'd do a lot of good in that Giants offense.
That was a great pick.
Thank you.
Stamp of approval from DG there.
Brought to you by Soldiers. Now, come on, let's go.
Unsponsored. Actually, we are sponsored. Shout out Better Edge, by the way. You listened to the ad read beforehand. Shout out Better Edge. I said promo code Kyle or DJ. Also use promo code Beast if you want to. One of the 3 will get you a $20 promo. But shout out Better Edge one more time. Back to the draft here. We got the number 26 pick, the Dallas Cowboys, and we got Soup drafting for the Cowboys. Soup, who do they take number 26?
Firstly, I just want to apologize to my dear friend PG. Apologize. He'll know what for. I'm just kidding. I don't know why the fuck I said that. I thought when I first started it, I'm like, I'll figure out something funny. And then I got to the end, I'm like, I've got nothing. I do that from time to time. Sometimes it works. Seriously, sometimes it's great, but that was not one of those times. Anyways, actually not shout out PG because fuck the Cowboys. They are not America's team. Haven't been in 2 decades. Anyways, irregardless, doesn't matter. With the 26th overall pick, the Cowboys are looking at the Big Ten. The Cowboys are looking at cornerback. The Cowboys are going to take Deonte Banks out of Maryland. Boom.
No,
he's gone.
He's off the board already.
You can't draft someone that's already been drafted. It doesn't work like that.
It's all right. I've been doing pretty bad at keeping up.
Okay. I thought I was doing great. Well, never mind. Someone had to do it. You're welcome for taking all the pressure off everyone. Okay.
It's tough when we're not tracking too, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh my God. This is a disaster. Okay. Okay. I've collected myself. I've gathered. God, I wish I could phone a friend. I wish I could call PG. All right. We are shifting from the Big Ten to the Big 12. We're going to take, because I know PG loves the Big 12. He's a Big 12 guy. I weirdly watched a fair amount of this guy and was like, holy shit, all year. I actually picked this team. one game when PG had the other side. Worked out for me. Shout out. But anyways, Will McDonald out of Iowa State,
Okay.
defensive end. He's
Nice.
a baller.
Yeah.
Outside of Micah Parsons, they could use everyone can use DN depth. I also the guy who I was certain the Cowboys were going to take and I thought was still on the board wasn't there, so I was a little flabbergasted and kind of shot from the hip there. I'm going to be honest, that was a huge part of why I took him. But yeah, fuck it. What if they pick him? What if that would be cool, right? Bang.
Smartest man alive.
Yeah, smartest man alive. Genius.
When we keep track of who got one right, if they do end up taking Banks, we'll give you a half point.
No, I need a wait. Okay, that's fair.
0.75.
That's fair.
Negotiate.
No, I'll take half. I'll take half.
All right, deal.
No, McDonald, that one, I think a couple years ago, led the NCAA in sacks. So he's a stud, and he's proven he's a stud in a tough conference. So I can very well see that happening. So good panic pick, but I think that's a solid pick nonetheless.
I hope so. If it's right, I'm gonna victory lap so hard. So hard.
As you should, King.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's transition out of the number 27 pick, the Buffalo Bills. DJ, and that was Soup's last pick, by the way, for the draft. So we'll do
nothing
DJ.
like going out with a dud.
That's DJ, it's your last pick with the Buffalo Bills, number 27. Who do you got them taking?
I'm in a tough spot here. I think the Bills want a receiver, a linebacker, or an offensive lineman. I think those are the positions they want. Nothing really on the board that, everyone that was all the good receivers were taken, in my opinion, top four. If any of those top four are available, I think the Bills take them. I realistically think the Bills trade back here. They don't want anything. I think they can get Jack Campbell in the second round for sure. So I think they would trade back to early second round, hope to get Jack Campbell. As far as offensive linemen, kind of the big ones have all gone. The thing that I'm noticing is there are two massive edge rushers that are available right now that have not been taken. And I think they've fallen pretty hard. Nolan Smith and Luke Van Ness. I'll go. I don't know. How has Luke Van Ness fallen this far? He was supposed to be like top 10 some mock drafts, bro. He was like top 15 in other mock drafts, bro. Nonetheless, I'll go Luke Van Ness here. I don't know if they would draft an edge rusher, but at the same time, best player available. I think good teams. You can never have too many pass rushers. I mean, to a certain point, obviously 10 pass rushers might be a little much, but most teams don't carry that many. So yeah, I'm gonna go Lucas Van Ness, Iowa edge rusher, just extremely skilled, part of a very fundamental defense. I think he'll do well. I don't think this pick's realistic because I don't think he falls, and I don't think they trade back. So I'm kind of in a tough spot here, but I'll go with that because that's best player available.
I'm an Iowa fan. I personally don't know what the hype was around Lucas Van Ness. He is very, very talented, and he has the skill set to be a really, really solid defensive end, but I don't see where the hype came from. So I can see him falling, but I'm with you, DJ. When I went and researched it, a lot of mock drafts have him going top 15, maybe. So him dropping that far, maybe not realistic, but just something to note. If they do take Lucas Van Ness, they have Lucas Van Ness and they have AJ Epinesa.
Exactly. So. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I can see him taking Nolan Smith too. I don't know. Most realistically, I feel like they trade back here. So if they do trade back, if none of the receivers are available or none of those offensive linemen that have already been drafted, if none of those guys are available and they trade back, I would like half a point if we could put that on the ledger.
All right. Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
The intern noted that for sure.
Thank you. Also, if they take Nolan Smith or Luke Van Ness, then I would also like a full point.
We'll negotiate that after.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
For sure. All right, so we got 4 picks left. Let's move on to the number 28 pick. The Cincinnati Bengals Beast, is selecting for the Bengals with his last pick of the draft. Beast, who are the Bengals taking 28?
With the number 28 overall pick, we're going to Mississippi State here. We're taking Emmanuel Forbes. A lot of people probably aren't as high on Forbes as some of the other cornerbacks in this draft class, but The thing about Forbes is he has the record for pick sixes in a career at the FBS level with 6. And he's just a ball hawk. And that's something maybe that I just have a little bit more appreciation for, because those are the types of guys you want on your Madden team, you know? But he finds the ball. And when you look at a team like the Bengals with a stud quarterback in Joe Burrow and so many offensive playmakers, you want somebody that's going to put the ball back in Burrow's hands. And that's exactly what Forbes does. He might be a little bit small. People say he's kind of skinny. That's like the biggest kind of knockdown on Forbes as well. He's kind of skinny, whatever. He's not as big as the other quarters. Dude, I don't care. If you're getting picks and you're finding a way, it's kind of maybe similar to like, we talk about so much with Diggs on the Cowboys and how he can get burned, but the guy makes so much turnover worthy plays that you're putting the ball back in your offense's hands. That matters. And I think at number 28, I think Forbes could be a steal there just because of those ball hawk skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great pick. And I thought that's who Josh was going to take as soon as he realized Banks wasn't available. I was like, oh, he's going corner. He'll just go to Forbes because that's the next.
They already have a crazy fucking cornerback who only causes turnovers and is kind of like sus otherwise.
So imagine if you have 2 of them. You're either going to give up 500 passing yards or you're going to have 3 pick sixes. One or the other. No in between.
It would be electric.
Yeah, roll the dice.
I would bet every over. Every over.
Nope, that's a good pick, and I do see them going corner here too. Their passing defense was kind of sus last year, so I like that pick, Beast.
Hell yeah.
All right, that's gonna round out Beast. That's gonna round out Beast draft. So DG has 2 more picks, and I have 1. So we'll do DG's picks. Number 29, the New Orleans Saints. DG, who do we got going number 29?
Number 29 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. The New Orleans Saints select Brian Brissy, defensive lineman from Clemson. One of the best interior defenders in the country, and also a defensive end as well. And I feel like what he learned at Clemson, and also with him playing after the passing of his sister, like I feel like he's going to be highly motivated to providing his absolute best for a team, and I think that the Saints would be proud to have him. So
yeah, absolutely, and it seems like from what I've watched of him, he'd fit like a Saints defense too, and like because he's a D tackle, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I think he fits really well there too. So nope, good pick. I think we're all kind of ready to just wrap this up here. So let's
I understand.
Let's keep this moving. Number 30, the Philadelphia Eagles. DG, who do we got going number 30?
Yes. With the 30th pick in the NFL draft 2023, the year of our Lord and Savior. The Eagles select Elijah Cansey, defensive lineman from Pitt. I think with that pick, not only will they be getting another one of the best defensive linemen in the nation, they'll also have fortified their offense and their defense within the first round. So I feel like that's going to maintain the track of trying to get back to the Super Bowl for them.
Yeah, I mean, having the obviously back-to-back D-line, interior D-lineman picks, different teams, but still having that control inside the middle is so important. And if you look at any of the Super Bowl teams, they always have someone that holds it down in the middle. That Jones cat for the Chiefs, obviously, and just throughout. I mean, even looking at like the best Vikings teams, they've had great D tackles that you just hold it down, and you can't run up the middle. It requires a double team, and I think it goes so far, and I think teams are realizing that. So yeah, I love those picks.
Nice.
All right. And to round out the NFL draft, we have the number 31 pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to be very, very shocked if this man drops as far as he does. But I think this is definitely a pick that I think Jacksonville would take if he drops all the way down to them with the 31st pick and final pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, first round. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Nolan Smith, linebacker from Georgia. He's going to go in the first round, honestly.
Yeah.
He's gonna go in the first round. I think this pick allows Trayvon Walker to move to a more of a defensive end and get him out of the linebacker, which I think he's more of a true defensive end than he is a linebacker. And I think that pick would help them a lot in that way. And like I said, I'm not saying our draft is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think he's going to drop that low. And if he does, he's going to get snagged. He's going to be a first round pick.
Yeah, Kyle, if you didn't pick him there, I was actually going to get pretty upset. I'm like, bro, we just let Nolan, we just let him walk all, come on. It's just tough. You're trying to do a lot of things, trying to figure things out. Guys you might have taken if they were available, but have now been taken, but then are available in the real draft. Everything changes. So we try to do the best we can. It is a mock draft. But I'm glad you did take him because he is so talented, and he was on one of the best defenses. He was a key piece in that one of the best defenses. He's good, and he's gonna be good.
Absolutely, and like I said, I think this pick makes sense for Jacksonville because it allows Trayvon Walker to go from a linebacker position to a defensive end, which is more of his true position. So I do like that pick a lot. But all right, that is going to round out the mock draft. I know it was a grind. I know the first kind of 10 picks might have been a little bit longer than expected, but I really liked the conversation. I loved chatting it up with the fellas and stuff like that. Really quick before we go, though, we did this last year. I kind of want to see what everyone thinks this year. How many picks do we think we got right? How many picks do we think as a unit we got right? Trades, irregardless. So how many do we think? Hey, buddy. Hey, Soup.
Hey, bud.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
So
what are we setting the over-under at, I guess?
Yeah,
well, I think we each personally set it. Everyone sets their own over-under.
Yep. So let's think about it for a second. How many?
I can go right away if you want.
We got right.
6.
Go ahead, Deej.
So the first time we did this, I set it at 8 or 11, something stupid high, and we got 2 right. So I've learned I'll set it at 2.5, assuming no. I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna go 3.5. Because I think we'll 3.5 is final answer. I think we get 4 right. So Vegas would set it at 3.5, or they'd set it at 4.5 because everyone's gonna bet the over. Nonetheless, I think we're gonna get 4 picks right out of the 32 or 31. Ooh, we have less of a chance.
Yeah, we're at a disadvantage this year.
I'm gonna go 3 now. I'm changing it to 2.5. We're gonna get 3 picks right.
What's up, DG?
No, I was saying, what was the number last year?
Last year, I think we got 4 or 5 right.
Was that the Aiden Hutchinson?
Well, we got no.
We got
3 or 4.
No, we did not. I can look back and tell you what picks we got right. We got more than 2.
Okay. Then the year before that, we got 2. We got Trevor Lawrence and 3. One other random one.
We got Lawrence Wilson and Kyle Pitts were the only ones the very first year we did it. So okay.
Yeah.
DG, we'll go to you. How many do you think we got right?
Wait. So how many did we get right last year?
I'd have to go back and look. I
4
think
or
it was
5.
3 or 4, yeah, or 5.
Okay.
We're on average for 4.
Okay, I got you.
Less, I think.
Shit. 5.
5? Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking 5 too.
5.
Soup.
All I remember is every year just being like, holy shit, we're historically bad at this.
We are so bad. And Soup's been on this for 3 years, so he knows we are just terrible at this.
It's so bad.
Check right now.
So just going off that, I'll be pessimist. I'll go with 3. I'll set the over under 3.5, and I'll take the under. I'll go with 3.
Okay, so we got 3, 4, and 2 and 5. Beast, how many do you think we got right?
It's probably just because I haven't done this for 3 years where I've seen us just bomb but I'm going to set the over-under at 4.5, and I think we can hit 5. It's not going to be any more than 5. That's our ceiling. But I could see it, especially if like the first 5 picks go how we kind of predicted with all the quarterbacks. There is the potential that we knock like 2 or 3 out right away.
If 4 quarterbacks are drafted right away,
If we hit that top 4, that would be 4 right there.
my underbet is murdered on the spot.
I can see a defensive player getting drafted top 4, and Soup texts our group chat is like disaster.
Yeah. Yep. No, I could see 5 though. I think that we might get 2 or 3 within the top 5, and then we mix in, another 2 or 3 throughout. We might hit on a couple just random ones.
I think the Raiders 1 hit. I don't know who picks for the Raiders. I think the Raiders 1 hits. It was the corner. I don't think anyone else is drafting a corner. So you're hitting 1 and you're hitting 7 or whatever the Raiders are. So you're getting 2 automatically.
There you go.
Assuming Levis goes second, you got 3.
Yep. I will say too, in one trend I've noticed in all our mock drafts is we've had certain players who definitely didn't go as far down as they did. We had them go further down. For example, I don't think Nolan Smith is going to go 31. I think he's going to go much higher than that. I think the very first year we did this, I think we had Jalen Waddle going like 17, and he was like a top 6 pick. So that trend keeps going for us too.
Dude, Jalen Carter is going to go like 2. And we're gonna be like, oh boy,
not good.
Yeah.
Literally,
dude. To be honest, no, go ahead, DJ.
I was just saying the first year we did it. I remember Kyle got the first one right, which was Trevor Lawrence, which was the most obvious pick of all. And then we missed like 10, 15 in a row, and then got another one in there randomly, or maybe we got Kyle Pitts, and then we went like we missed almost all of them. And I was like, oh my god, we just did an entire mock draft and hit like a 5% clip.
Dude, I think we went from 2 to like 18 without getting one right.
You got Zach Wilson right, I'm pretty sure. Didn't you take Zach Wilson I think you took Zach Wilson. So yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, it was bad. But positive vibes, boys. I think this is a very good draft. And like I said, if we can get 5, I'd say that's a success for us. We're just a bunch of 5 degenerates that watch sports on occasion. I'm going to guarantee you half this crew prepped like 10 minutes before the draft started.
Doesn't sound like us at all.
I'm going to be honest. I was a good boy this year, and I started like 30 minutes before.
Attaboy. That's what I'm talking about. That's 3 years in right there. That's growth.
Yep.
Progress.
Consistency.
We're getting somewhere with Soup.
I would say if we get 5, though, we set a record. So that we'd have to celebrate.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, because last year we had the over at 3.5.
Yep, and we got 4 because we got London right, we got Pickett right.
Yeah,
we got a couple others, but I know those 2 for sure we got right.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, Pickett, London, Sauce.
Oh, Sauce, yep. Sauce at 4 we got right.
Yeah, and Pickett.
And one other person, I can't remember who, but we did get 4 last year. So yeah, 5 would be perfect. We might crack open the champagne for the fellas if we get 5.
I think we can do it.
Let's go.
Yeah. I've been keeping a bottle of Vouv on ice just for when we get 5 out of 30. And we don't even get 32 this year. 5 out of 31 would be fucking miraculous.
Let's go.
Percentage just went way up with that too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work on Friday if that happens.
Correct. Yeah. Well, hey, I tell you what, Soup, Beast, and DG, thanks for hopping on. I knew we had an electric crew when we asked you guys to come on. We got an electric crew. We had great analysis, a lot of laughs. I enjoyed it. So shout out to you 3. And I know some of you guys listen to Part of My Takes. I will say you guys have been on the show multiple times now. And as a multiple time guest, and now as a recurring guest, anytime me or DJ ask you to come on, you have to say yes. Just so you know.
Hell yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
Otherwise, we'll send the goon squad out to get you. And you don't want that goon squad coming for you.
No. The Gambling Feud goon squad is strong.
Strong, man. And they don't ask any questions. They're just like, okay, yeah, we'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. Well,
How do you
Fel-
think VFC's knees got like that, dude?
he said no to come on a gambling feud?
That's
One
yeah.
time.
You just don't
He's-
put these things together.
He's catching strays out here. We had to get something in here for him.
Yeah,
Dude, Beefy's tweet today was so good. It was so good.
That beefy tweet was hilarious. Well, fellas, once again, thank all three of you for coming on the show. It was a lot of fun, and I do really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
For sure,
Good
boys.
job.
Yep.
Well, to round out the show, as always, you can find me on Twitter at Capper Kyle, and DJ for 86 episodes. Wrap it up for us, buddy.
You can find me on Twitter at DJLow4422. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in 2 weeks for some sort of electric episode, TBD at this point, but it's going to be electric.
Peace.
Those
What's up, boys?
Bye, guys.
Perfect.